the detention center was that they wanted to make sure that the detainees are getting due process. We spoke to one of the clergy members earlier. I hope the control room has that ready to go. If we may, let's go ahead and play that for you, then we'll come back and show you more of what's going on out here.
We asked a simple question: where are the families? We wanted to make sure they understand that this is a sanctuary city and that we want them collaborating with the federal government. We want to make sure that everyone can do their First Amendment protest rights. I think it's a small group of people that are being violent. I think the majority of Angelenos are standing up and saying, where are our fathers? Where are our mothers? It's illegal to rip children away from their parents. And so we are standing here nonviolently to reaffirm that is Los Angeles character, that we have the moral high ground in this situation, that we would not be intimidated by fear by Washington, D.C.
You know, we mentioned David Huerta and him being held or detained over the weekend and then released today. In the interest of fairness, we also have to give you the flip side of this issue as well, because the U.S. Attorney's Office, in their complaint filed through the Central District of Los Angeles, prosecutors say that agents were serving 4 search warrants in 4 businesses around Southern California last Friday. And what they were doing was that they suspected people were unlawfully employing illegal aliens and falsifying employment records. That is why they were able to get those search warrants from a judge. On top of that, prosecutors, in terms of David Huerta, says that because David Huerta was being uncooperative, that is why they had to take him into custody. But right now, out here, as you look live, you can see that a lot of people are very emotional about this subject. They feel that the use of the National Guard is not something that they want to see out here. And that is why they have demonstrated. But we should tell you that throughout the day, things have been relatively peaceful. There was one moment where we did see someone throw like a bottle towards LAPD. And the officers stayed in place. They did not respond in kind. However, at about 1:30 or so, soon after that bottle was thrown, one of the officers did get on the loudspeaker and say that this was an unlawful assembly and people had to leave. And so, by and large, most of those people did leave the corner of Aliso and Alameda, which is about 2 blocks from where we are. And since then, they kind of have gathered out here. And you can see the sort of posture that we have out here at the front of the door. You have CHP officers in their riot gears and their shields, along with the National Guards. You have just probably a couple of hundred people on the streets, as well as in cars, waving flags and then chanting. And the other thing to keep in mind too, Ari, if you wouldn't mind, be careful as you step forward. Come forward here, and I'm going to ask you, Ari, to kind of pivot towards your left and show all of the LAPD officers by the freeway. I apologize at home if you saw some of the graffiti out here and some of the bad language, but we're trying our best to be very mindful of that. We can see how the CHP as well as the LAPD have basically closed off that part of Los Angeles Street and Aliso to make sure that people don't get on the freeway. And the other part too is they also want to control the flow of traffic as well. So one of the things that hopefully will take place is that they can get ahead of this so that more people don't pour in. But right now, Ari, go ahead and kind of tilt your camera up and then pan over. Basically, he's panning high so that we can avoid some of the bad language. But we want to show you the crowd out here. And right now, people are just basically chanting, but the posture is not confrontational, but by no means do we have any sort of a détente, if you will. That's the latest from here. I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jeff, from a reporter's standpoint, just watching your pictures and hearing you talk and watching the people going through the crowd, I see young and old people with children, a very different situation than what we saw yesterday. It does seem like these folks out here, they want to get their message across. This is still a very hot topic. These people who were taken away from their families are still in custody. So, again, a very different, I mean, I know when you're out there, you kind of feel it. Your reporter's sense tells you how the situation is going, and it looks like it is a lot better.
Yeah, you know, I think look, there are two stories to be told here, right? There are people who are demonstrating in earnest, and then there are people who we'll call agitators, who are a small section of what's happening out here. By and large, this is what you have. For a lot of Southern Californians, they feel that this is a personal matter to them because they identify with the people who are the detainees, and they feel that if their neighbor can be taken in, they can be taken in. And so people are exercising their First Amendment right. Whether or not you agree or disagree with them, you know, this is a part of what it means to be an American, and you are allowed to do this. Having said that, the mayor has touched on this, Police Chief McDonald has touched on this. It just takes a small group of people who come in and want to take this situation and take it in a different direction. You know, when they do that, when you see the chaos and destruction and the violence, it takes away from all of this,
That's right.
which is the earnest message that people are trying to convey. So I think that, you know, we have to be responsible to not lump those two groups together, right? They are very different things. There are people who want to express how they feel about the use of the National Guard, how they feel about the use of federal agents going into businesses and serving warrants. You know, the thing is that although the U.S. Attorney says that these warrants were signed off by a judge and they were able to serve these warrants, critics of the federal government also want to see copies of that as well. So I think that's why there is so much stirred up emotion on, you know, on the sides of people who are criticizing what the White House is doing or what this current administration is doing. Guys?
All right, Jeff Nguyen reporting live for us there on the ground. Also nearby is our Jasmine Veal. And we want to check back in with Jasmine.
Hey,
Jasmine,
everybody.
we understand that you have someone with you now that we're going to hear from.
I think this is going to pop off.
Yeah, we have
soon.
some young women. They have been out here with the group protesting all day today, actually, and now they're ready to leave. I want to talk to Bella.
Now they're ready to
First,
leave, yeah.
22 years old. But Bella, you're trying to kind of get out of here at this point because you're just worried about what?
I don't know. It's kind of starting to get a little hectic. The crowds are getting bigger. We were here earlier when it was like a smaller group, and I think we're just ready to go home. But all the train stations are closed. We took the metro here, and the little Tokyo station's closed, Union Station's closed, and we're trying to get to Chinatown over there. But the streets are closed off, so we're trying to figure out how to get home.
More difficult than you expected with so many people now arriving, and we saw two kind of groups of protesters merge into one in front of the federal building.
Should have just stayed home.
Immigration and enforcement. But Bella, you were telling me, you know, being out
I
here
had
for hours,
no-
how were things, the mood?
I
No
feel like it's been peaceful. A peaceful
feelings for any of
protest,
these
and I feel like that's not really
protesters.
what's getting
What
shown.
happens to them
I feel
happens
like
to them.
everybody's just seeing the fires and, you know, people throwing stuff, but there's been a lot of people marching around peacefully with their signs, respectfully, you know, like voicing their opinion, out here for human rights, like, yeah.
And you saw what happened over the weekend.
Yeah, I love how they
Things
say
did
human
escalate, and
rights.
There was some damage. Waymos burned just down Los Angeles.
And
Street.
earlier
A
they
lot of
said
graffiti. What do you
there's
say to
a
that?
I don't know,
pastor out there
I don't
talking
think,
about
you know,
we have
it's
the
not
moral
great,
high ground.
But I feel like people are, you know, using
Illegal
their right to speak
is
their opinion
illegal.
and voice their truth, but I think
No
there's a lot of
matter if what
destruction that
these
hopefully,
ICE
you know,
agents
could
are
have been
doing
avoided, but
isn't
again, people are
moral.
really upset and there's, you know, high tensions going on with the situation.
So what was the message? The
Illegal
overall message
is
that you want
illegal.
to get out to the administration, to city,
They don't
county, state
understand it.
I feel like we need to know, like, this is a basic human right issue. We don't need to be separating families. Like, I feel like there's much more pressing things going on out there that need attention. I don't think the National Guard is really needed out here. I feel like this looks very provoking. Like, I don't know. I just think we need to reunite these families, and what's being done is really messed up.
Oh, we need to
and
reunite these families. All right.
But you're ready to go.
I
with your
have a
best friend here.
surefire fix to
You've been out
reunite
here
all
as
these
well with Belle.
families.
What's your name?
I'm Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
Deport
you have a sign of
all of
ICE.
them.
These RCHP officers behind you guys holding the line here, the on and off ramps of the 101 freeway, not wanting to see what happened on Sunday and over the weekend where the freeway had to shut
Send
down.
them all
Essentially,
back to
we have
Mexico.
National Guard troops in front of us, kind of mixed in here. What are your thoughts, though? Overall, you know,
If
how
they
did
love
the day go
Mexico
for
so
you?
The
much,
day, like
send
Bella
them all
said, it was
there.
a really
Here,
peaceful
you get a
protest.
free
We were
trip to
first down at
Mexico.
Grand,
And then
there's
see
a big
how
crowd, a lot of
you have the
speakers,
moral high ground.
and you know, over
Or
here,
how
we're starting the crowd's
your
getting larger, but
human
it's remained
rights
peaceful.
are
Nobody's
dealt with
throwing
in
anything.
Mexico.
Nobody's, people are just exercising their freedom of speech and marching.
Folks show up in gas masks, though. I mean,
Yeah,
some
they're
have come
scared.
prepared with bandanas and they have knee pads on to not get hit by rubber bullets.
Yeah, all the cops, like, they look ready to go. They're batons in hand, rifles in hand, ready to have that.
Oh,
That
well,
adds
let's
to the
see.
aggression,
Oh,
although
for
they're
sure.
trying to just keep
You
the
know,
peace.
For sure, yeah, and they're not saying much. We've
LA
asked
isn't
them,
known
where
for
do we go?
being
Like, they
a
have a lot of the train stations blocked.
really nice city when
Sorta
it comes
just-
to
it's
riots.
difficult. You can't really call an Uber because Ubers can't get in. So, yeah, it's.
You've
It
got
is
two
difficult.
legs.
Thank you,
Walk,
Ashley. Thank you,
bitch.
Bella, for the time. Good luck getting home and be safe. We have just seen a bunch of cars get stuck here in a traffic jam, and people just jumping out with signs. We're not even sure how they were able to get through here, because we too are stuck behind these barriers and the blockades, and you can't get off the freeway. So they've really had to take the long route to get around. And that's what we also heard. I was talking to a mom, again, Jamie Klein, who was here yesterday, and the metro was also shut down as she and her husband tried to get back home, and things began to escalate. And it seems to be kind of the same situation today. And there are a lot of people, and I predict more will be showing up as the workday comes to an end. And so hopefully things
Yeah, this is
remain,
gonna pop off.
peaceful. And,
I'm betting
and
within the
just
next
remain
hour,
chanting as
it's
they
gonna
are,
pop off.
making their voices heard, and obviously here to do that, in solidarity. They
is
tell me, showing
4
up
o'clock
like
Arizona
Ashley and
time.
Bella, with family, with friends. Yesterday, families were out walking around. I was told. Kids with their parents.
If
And
you
meanwhile-
take your
All
child
right, Jasmine,
to a
thank you very
protest,
much, and we'd like to
you
welcome
deserve
our
to
viewers
have
here at 4 o'clock.
CPS
This is
come in
KCAL
and
News
take
at
your
4
fucking
o'clock. We'll begin
child.
with breaking news here
Period.
at 4. As you see here, a crowd of protesters gathering once again in downtown LA for the 4th consecutive
Because
day.
Yes,
somebody
Sky
was
Count
sharing
is
all over the
overhead, and
internet
Simon editor Mike Rogers
that there
is
was
monitoring from the desk. And
a
Mike,
little
they have
toddler
been
pepper
peaceful
sprayed.
so far, but we're starting to see these crowds really grow.
Shuffling and moving
It's the
around.
parents'
and it looks like there
responsibility.
was a bit of a fight between
If you
themselves.
wouldn't have
We
brought your
saw just a couple minutes ago while
toddler
Jasmine was
to a
talking,
protest,
one person kind of get into
your
a clash with
toddler
another
wouldn't have got
person,
pepper
and then
sprayed.
all of a sudden we are starting to see this group kind of run a little bit. So I'm not sure exactly what they're running from. Law enforcement has not moved in here at all.
You
So
know,
they're
sorry,
there. We've
not
got the National
sorry.
Guard that has been on the steps of the federal building. LAPD.
Call me an
is
asshole
certainly in the
all you
area,
want.
but nobody has actually pushed the crowd or done anything like that. So I can't.
My
exactly
granddaughters
tell
are
why
not
the
going to
crowd
get pepper
decided to
sprayed
start just kind of
because
taking
my
off.
daughter and her boyfriend
Is it
Randy
because they're fighting? Yeah. So that's the guy. Okay. So the guy on the
aren't
left, the bald guy,
dumb
that is
enough
being hit.
to take them
I don't know if he's an agitator or exactly what
to
happened. Whoever he is,
a
the crowd
protest.
is not fond of him. And that was the same guy that they were just kind of fighting with earlier. And now, for whatever reason, it's pushed over to this area here at Temple and Judge John.
It's because he has the American
It
flag.
looks like they've got him pushed up against that kind of guard shack or that parking shack there. And I can't tell, but it looks like he's bleeding. He's bleeding from the head
from
now.
the ears.
Oh, of course,
Blowing things
because
out.
these
We've
are
seen people
mostly
punch him.
peaceful
So I don't know exactly
protesters.
what's going on. This happened once or twice yesterday too, where the crowd kind of fought amongst themselves, but really not. Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, we're
Yeah.
seeing them with these flagpoles.
Remember, everyone, the
and,
news is calling this
we
mostly
know that
peaceful
those poles can certainly
protesters.
be used as weapons.
Yeah.
It looks like some of the folks there are trying to protect that
Right.
man. He seems to be trying to get away from the crowd, but there are some that seem to continue to go after him.
Mike, and this ramp, where does this ramp
I believe
lead
this is a
into?
courthouse. Judge John Issa. Let me just go look here on my map, but. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of indicative of what's going on. You've got a
'Cause
group
that's
of
all
people that
these
want this
leftist
to remain
idiots
peaceful,
know
and
know
you
how
see
to
that
do.
group of people trying to stop this
You either
fighting from happening.
do what we
and then
say,
lose the chopper picture here for just a second,
or
you've got the other group that is
we're
not
gonna
interested in stopping it. They just
hurt
kind of
you.
want it to keep going, and it's unclear exactly
that's
why
all
they're,
the
they're
left
upset with
does.
this person. That is, ironically, that is the ramp to the LAPD Metropolitan Jail that they are going up. So I'm sure LAPD will have to come out and deal with them if they go much further up their ramp there. But that is a police facility that they are now kind of crowded on here in this area. So
Yep.
that's
So,
kind of what they're looking
LAPD,
at
do
right
your
now. It's
job.
unclear exactly what prompted all
come
this
out
and
and
what
pepper
started
spray all the
this.
protesters
But
and
this
send them
is,
scurry them like
And is that
little
the guy, Mike, that we
cockroaches
see
when you
right
turn
there,
the
the guy
light
who
on.
was hit?
Yeah, and I can't tell if that's an Adidas shirt or what it is, but yeah, that's the guy that was hit. He is bleeding from the head. It looks like they maybe have separated him enough from the group of people that were trying to go after him.
And
So
see, this is
I'm
why
sure
I don't
exactly
go to
what,
any of these
you know, they were doing
protests.
that for. But yeah,
There is
so
no
hopefully they'll, you know,
talking
have
to
some of that
anybody
headline
on the
bleeding a little
left.
bit,
Yeah, we
so.
saw it kind of like this fight
You
started
might
on
as well
Los
talk
Angeles Street,
to
right
the
went
fucking
around the building,
refrigerator.
and then this is kind of like where they've ended up.
Yeah, right in front of the courthouse. So yeah, and again, you've got this group of people that obviously doesn't want this violence, and here's LAPD. So that's
See,
LAPD
there's
sergeant that
LAPD
is
being
now,
like, "Get the
you know,
fuck outta
obviously
here."
because they're at an LAPD facility. So now they're going to try to get this situated. LAPD will probably call an RA, a rescue ambulance, for that man to at least get treated. So
Yeah, it's
weird.
interesting though, Mike, how, I mean, this crowd is not
Oh,
backing
oh,
up.
oh,
there we go.
Boy. Yeah, I was
Here
just
we go.
saying
That was a clash with-
officer
yeah.
is trying to get this person away from this crowd, and the crowd just seems to be taunting them
Right.
and not backing off. And now we've seen the officer actually swing at this crowd. We see that the baton
Break out the
out,
pepper
Less
spray and
lethal.
less
tasers.
lethal as well.
What they need to do is get this guy out of the area, Mike.
Yeah.
If this is the problem and he is the, you know, what's creating this problem, they should have him, you know, just.
He
leave
isn't
locals in
creating
there.
the problem.
Yeah, and yeah,
The
and get 'em out of there. Those
protesters are
officers,
the
there's
problem.
not enough officers. There's, you know, you got what, 4 officers there that are trying to deal. And excuse us while we're
'Cause,
moving out of
oh,
the way of this building here. But
you
got
know,
4
we
officers
can't
there
have a
that are
difference
trying
of
to, you know,
opinion.
tend to this guy and figure out how injured he is, and you know, figure out also why this is happening.
That's why I
Because
don't go to any of
started.
these stupid protests.
So, yeah, you're right, Juan. They do need to get him out of there.
Whether it's for
or at
our
least
side or
whoever
their
is-
side,
is
I don't
really
show up to
intent
them.
on going after that guy. They need to
Diffuse the
take that
situation.
guy
Because
to
all
the next and get him
protests
out
are
of here.
stupid.
You know, we have been talking about how peaceful the protests have been. We hadn't
Like
seen
back,
much,
what was it, 3
going
years
on
ago?
Besides, you know, the
When they had that
drums and the people chanting, and
big
now we've
trucker
seen
convoy
this man
that went
here
across the
in
US
this,
twice?
like a gray or olive-colored hoodie.
Yeah.
The Adidas
What did that
hoodie.
accomplish?
We
now-
did see that he was
Absolutely
Now it looks like he's giving a press conference.
Well, it
nothing.
looks like the officer is kind of tapping him on the
Yeah.
shoulder, like, "Hey, buddy, like, keep it quiet here." Just
And
let-
see, he's
just
still
let-
out there
All
flapping
those
his
cameras
fucking
pointed at
mouth,
him now, though.
trying to
Yeah,
get
and
his,
we don't know
you know,
what
point
started this in the first
across.
place, what he was saying, or
because
what was
he's drank the
happening that
MAGA
turned,
Kool-Aid.
some of these people against him.
Yeah.
We do know that they were throwing water bottles at him. People were taking swings at him. And we don't know who he is or why they have.
So now
done
this
that,
idiot's
but
out there,
we definitely
can't
saw
keep his
him
mouth
face
shut,
to this
putting
area,
these
and
officers'
now
lives
we've
in
got
jeopardy.
A handful of officers that are trying to surround him.
That's
and
why I
keep
can never
this
be a freaking
crowd
cop.
away from him.
We got 5 officers, Mike, right? Do you see
I
5
would just
officers
put that
kinda-
guy in
Yeah,
handcuffs,
so you
throw him in a cop car.
2 patrol cars there with probably
Lock his ass up.
5 officers. It's kind of hard to tell. 1, 2, 3, 4.
For his own
At
fucking
least 4,
safety.
maybe 5. Yeah. But you know what's hard too. Also, is so much of the crowd is wearing black, which is the same color that I guess LAPD is technically a dark navy blue. But you know the colors get similar and it gets difficult to see. But you see those 5 officers. Juan, you're right, with shields, kind of blocking this guy. But what's the plan? I mean, they got to get him
See,
out of there.
he's this dumbass is out there
Let's
just
see what can
flapping his
happen. That just goes to
cocksucker.
show you how quickly things can change out there.
Like, look,
a peaceful
now
protest
I got
basically,
LAPD
just
backing me
changed.
up.
And,
I can
right
say
now,
whatever
things are
I
calm.
want.
Officers have arrived. We don't know the story of this guy with the hoodie there, but as we saw just a short time ago, protesters were not happy that he was there.
Yeah, and it looks
I
like
will
some
say
of those,
this.
folks are starting to move away again from this,
To the guy
person
there
the
that the
police
cops
have
are
surrounded.
protecting.
It seems like they are trying.
They
to get
won't
him to
protect you
safety.
forever.
They do have a couple of their
People have a
cars
memory.
there, behind that line of people.
People have
Videos
cell
you
phones
can
that
see
take
many of
great
them have
video and
their phones
pictures.
lifted up, recording this person. We still don't know who he is. We do want
And how
to,
vengeful the left
switch
is?
gears a little bit here and go
It could
to
be
our
tomorrow. It
Jasmine
could be the
Veal,
next day.
who
It could be
is
next
also on
week.
the
It could be
ground.
next
We've been
month.
checking in with her.
Somebody see this dude?
The Pico de Gallo burger, and I'll bring back 3 of my table tents. Okay, deal.
Yep, and officers have tried to protect
You know,
someone.
have their way with them.
Is, but some of the other
And that's why I don't
protesters
show up to any of
throwing
these
him, throwing
protests.
Water bottles. A couple of people have hit him.
Because protesting, no matter what side you're on,
trying to
does
get an idea of what things are
nothing.
looking like in your area.
Nothing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's remaining peaceful, at least on this side, but you know, it's hot. People have been handing
And I
out
know that
water.
I've been called
Things
anti-American
can
all the
escalate pretty
time.
quickly if you
Because I don't
give
drive
one
an
group
American
or
piece of
someone
shit
upset
car.
someone else. People have been being dropped off. Some of them,
I'm
you know,
not down
showing
on my
up
knees,
dressed, fully in their own type of riot
You know,
gear, appearing to look like they are prepared for
servicing
anything, right?
our
With gas
president like
masks,
some
with knee
people
pads
are.
on, with gloves on, with masks on, and then you have others out here, moms
Because
and sisters and brothers who just
I have
are
a
holding
working
signs
brain.
and banners, wanting to just get the message out that they want to put an end. They say to deportation. They want ICE out of here. They say they want the National Guard out of here. But the CHP, the LAPD, and that riot gear holding the line here on the street in front of the buildings. And many have been telling
Like,
you that
I
they
hope
need
to
more
God
peaceful bodies
that
out
I'm
here,
still
not the
alive
violence, and described how
the
things
next
really
presidential
escalated
election.
on Sunday. Take a look.
When
On South Broadway, cleaning crews painting
Trump
over graffiti
isn't
Monday
president
that lined
anymore.
several blocks in downtown LA, making repairs to buildings with smashed glass along Los Angeles Street. And tow trucks removing burned Waymo cars hours after protests escalated into violence and destruction Sunday night.
It was mayhem.
What was that? Alicia DeQuina lives in downtown and says the actions of a few overshadow the main message of protesters who had gathered to rally against the multiple immigration operations that
It
took
doesn't
place
matter.
across LA since Friday.
There's the few that just used it as an opportunity, and then there's the ones that do it peacefully, but they still got
Because that's what the left said about the J6ers. It doesn't matter that there was a few instigators.
Jamie Klein,
They're
a
all
mother, and her
guilty.
husband
They
decided
were
to
all
join hundreds rallying
insurrectionists.
Sunday outside City Hall. She says it was well organized and peaceful as families with kids started to march to the federal building on Alameda.
They were handing out waters. They were telling people, make sure you have a phone number in case you get arrested, but like to write it on your arm or on your clothing.
She says when the LAPD showed up in riot gear alongside the National Guard, that's when things took a turn as they pushed back the crowd.
That's when they started shooting the pepper spray at people. There was no longer going in the air. It was hitting people deliberately.
The LAPD
As
says
it
that
should
made
be.
31 arrests over the weekend.
Because I
Charges
guarantee
ranging from assault with a deadly weapon
they
on a
were asked
police
several
officer
times to
looting,
disperse,
arson, and attempted murder with
and
a
they
Molotov
didn't.
cocktail. 5 officers were injured. Klein says she noticed later on in the day some people began to arrive with bad intentions.
They were getting ready to fight, and it was like, oh, these are different protesters. These guys, they want confrontation, and they're ready for it. So it was definitely a different type of protester.
Klein says
Then
she
why
hopes
didn't
more
you
peaceful
guys remove
protesters will
them?
be back to make their voices heard here again very soon. Okay, back out here live. We walked down Los Angeles Street because things seemed to escalate a little bit between these CHP officers there holding the line at Aliso in Los Angeles with some protesters. They had started to kind of push back the crowd, and then some of these people here on the side that were standing started to yell back at the officers, waving flags in their faces, and then the CHP officers seemed to advance back to where they were standing in front of their vehicles.
Idiots.
So we didn't
That's
really
all
know
this
what they were
is,
trying to
idiots.
accomplish, maybe letting some of the vehicles through since some cars were stuck here in this crowd. But things seem to have calmed down again, but there is a little bit of yelling happening between some of the protesters now.
Yeah,
some of
because
them
yelling
handing out
solves
earplugs, saying,
everything.
Put the earplugs in.
Yeah,
presumably
yelling solves
expecting maybe some flashbangs to go
problems.
off. They're just kind of preparing.
I'm gonna
if any
yell at the
loud
cop and
noises
then
were to
put
happen, I
the
guess,
cop off
as everyone's
because
putting in their earplugs right now,
that
and
does
kind of
what?
advancing toward these officers. So we'll keep our eye on things, how they unfold right here next to the 101. I mean, we're over the 101 freeway, Union Station, not too far, and again, right here at Aliso. Amy, Juan.
Yeah, definitely things are looking not too bad there, Jasmine. All right, thank you for that update from the ground. Well, family members of people taken into custody during Friday's raids on businesses in the Fashion District, they want to know what's happening to their loved ones. Some spoke this morning in downtown LA. The group raised signs with pictures of their loved ones. They say ICE agents took dozens of indigenous immigrant workers into custody. And since then, they've struggled to find and make contact with them.
I was present during the raid. I saw with my own eyes the pains of the families, crying, screaming, not knowing what to do, just like me. That's why the families
Well, you
demand
know
free
what?
of all workers, legal
They wouldn't have been
representation, and
rounded
due
up by
process.
ICE if they were here legally.
Ambiance, that's the company that employs these workers, makes clothing.
Well, LAUSD Superintendent Roberto Cavallo is reassuring parents and students that graduations will happen as the raids and protests continue.
We are one. At Los Angeles Unified, we have a commitment to protect the rights, the opportunities for every single child, every one of our workforce members, and the families we serve. No
So when did they stop making it
Cavallo
illegal
said earlier today there were federal vans
hire
parked within a couple of blocks
and
of two LA schools,
illegal?
which he calls an intimidation
'Cause,
tactic. He stressed that all graduation
used to be that
happening this week will
you
be
couldn't
protected by
legally
administrators
hire
and school police
someone that
set up
wasn't here in the country
perimeters
legally.
around the events. They will also provide a protected path for parents and students to and from the ceremonies. Tomorrow is the last day of school in the district.
To know.
Well, we continue to follow this breaking news as protesters gather in downtown LA.
It looks horrible. People committed crimes. It is absolutely unacceptable.
Mayor Karen Bass's message to those looking to exercise their First Amendment right after a weekend of destruction. Olga.
And we saw some gray skies this morning, but the sun is finally out. I'm tracking some warm temperatures next.
Oh, warm temperatures. Such breaking news. It's summertime. That's like here in Phoenix. It's all over Facebook that they had to rescue 4 hikers up of a mountain. And one of them is in severe condition. It's 110 degrees. And these people are still hiking in the freaking mountains. And I use the term people loosely. And it's going to be like this all summer. People that just have to go hiking because it's what they do. And then they take one water bottle that's about the size of my coffee cup with them. Hang on here. Yeah. Like this Powerade bottle. They take a water bottle about this size because they don't want to carry all the extra water. And then by the time that they get halfway done hiking, they run out of water. And then, I'm having a heat stroke, and, I got to call other people to come rescue my dumbass. I don't feel sorry for him. When we have malls here that you can go hiking in a mall in the air conditioning. We have gyms all over the place. You can get your ass on a treadmill and go hiking. All but broken. That's not the same. No, it's not the same. It's safer. I think what they need to do here in the Phoenix Valley is as soon as it hits 100 degrees, all the trails need closed. And if you're caught hiking on a trail that's closed, then you're arrested.
And we continue to follow breaking news here at 4 o'clock. A crowd of protesters once again gathering in downtown LA for a fourth consecutive
And I know
day.
That's right.
people are
Downtown
like,
is
well, that's
overhead.
just
This crowd is
extreme.
just outside
Really?
The Robert Young Federal Building. We've watched as this crowd has grown.
Mm-hmm.
You can see those officers there. I believe that is the National Guard blocking the
Maybe
entrance
we need
there.
to have
So
some
this
more
large
extreme
crowd
stuff in this country
gathering. They've been shouting
to keep
you can
idiots
see
like
them
this
for
from
signs,
doing
but
stuff.
They have not tried to get into the building, but there is definitely a large crowd, and we've been watching for a little more than an hour now. This
I
crowd
guarantee
grow.
if they get into this
And,
building, this building
has
is going to
been
be
mostly
burnt
peaceful.
That's
to
right.
the
Monitoring the
ground.
situation for us also, Mike Rogers on the desk. Mike, what do you have?
Yeah, so just kind of watching this, as you mentioned, and actually, John, look at the corner of the building. So I was kind of noting like the gap between the law enforcement, the National Guard, and the protesters. But John, if you go in and there's going to be on the right side of the building there, it looks like the protesters are actually kind of under that overhang on the side of them as well. So we'll see how they handle that. But it'll be the first time if they have any kinds of clashing with the National Guard. It will really be kind of the first time of those clashings. Oh, thanks, John. We can't get too tight on that because of some of the language that's been spray painted literally everywhere in town. So that's been difficult. But
peaceful
really
protesting.
The National Guard has not moved
spray
forward.
Painting all the buildings.
Forward towards the National Guard. They've just been in that, stalemate.
Peaceful protesting, everyone.
This is representative of what people are protesting. This is why they're choosing the federal building to do this, because it represents the federal government. It represents where many people that are going through immigration issues go to for court hearings, for detention hearings, all kinds of things like that. Right. So this is the peaceful type of protest that has been happening over the last couple of days. We're in a better situation than we were yesterday. By this time yesterday,
this is a peaceful type of protest. You just heard it, everyone.
Declared at 3:20 in the afternoon yesterday.
So burning Waymos.
That has not happened here. CHP is on the overpass,
breaking windows.
The freeway here, like
spray painting
that was
buildings.
Yesterday with those CHP
That's
officers
peaceful.
pelted with rocks and literally anything the protesters could pick up to toss down at them. We haven't seen any arrests yet so far, so we're certainly in much better shape today than we were yesterday.
Yeah, clearly a new day, Mike. Things are a lot better there as we continue to follow this growing protest against the ICE raids that started on Friday at a clothing manufacturing company and at several other areas in Los Angeles. We know at a Home Depot, at a donut shop as well, where about 44 people were taken into custody for some sort of immigration issue.
That's right. We want to go back to our Jeff.
Send them home.
He is on the ground here. He's been watching this crowd. Jeff, you, I believe, are still in the same area there. Have you seen things change as far as tension? Now we see more officers right in that area.
Yeah, so we are in the same area. So earlier we were on Los Angeles and basically Temple. Right now we are basically around the corner on Temple, and you can see right here, this is basically the federal building complex where we were earlier, but just around the corner. This side of the complex is the Roy Ball Courthouse, and where you can see there is a number of LAPD officers out here. They have basically set up this skirmish line, and they have taken control for now of the courtyard, if you will, outside.
And then all they did is go up and get in these cop spaces.
This courthouse is where David Huerta had his first court appearance earlier today. David Huerta, as you know, is the president of the SEIU, which is a labor union. He was arrested on Friday for what the federal government calls obstruction during one of the ICE operations in the Fashion District. And as you look on your screen right now, Ari is showing you
look at more cops showing up.
Arriving here. This is not far from the Metropolitan Station. For those of us of a certain generation who grew up in LA, if you look at where those barbed wires are and where the overgrown grass is, you may remember this area. Once upon a time was where Parker Center was. In fact, you know, that gate to the right of us, we're not going to show it because there's a lot of profanity, but if you remember way back when O.J. Simpson surrendered to LAPD after that long speed pursuit, that's where he surrendered, and that's where KCAL had its famous shot of O.J. walking out. So not far from Little Tokyo right now, but basically I am not privy to LAPD strategy.
But remember, everyone, when Donald Trump brought in the 50 or 60 white immigrants seeking asylum here from South Africa, the Democrats didn't want them here. Why is that? Because they're the wrong color.
So in terms of operational tactics,
I don't know when these people will wise up and realize that.
Traffic around the federal building is somewhat restricted because here on Temple,
hey, Austin,
no one can go up and down Temple. In fact, earlier cars were.
But I don't know when these people will wise up and realize that mainstream media and the Democrats
exchanging words
are
put it politely,
using
with
you.
LAPD, but those folks have since gone. We do see a couple of legal monitors out here as well in the green hats. So their job is to make sure that people's civil rights are protected. You know, protecting people's civil rights, whether you agree with it or not, is something that has been, you know, at the forefront of the leadership for LAPD since May Day of 2007. So right now, things are pretty static right now, and we'll send it right back to you.
My opinion is that if
All
you're
right,
not a
Jeff
legal
Nguyen
U.S.
reporting live
citizen,
for us.
you have
We
no
see
civil
lots of
rights
sunshine
here.
out there over the
Period.
crowd, and we want to check in with our meteorologist.
That's right. Meteorologist Olga Ospina here now with the heat that we're experiencing right now, and it's going to get even warmer, right, Olga?
Yes, temperatures. In
Oh,
the
yeah, it's going to
90s.
get
And we
warmer
have
because
100s
it's
tomorrow for some
summertime.
areas. Take a look at Long Beach. We started the day very gray, and even into this afternoon, Long Beach wasn't seeing much sunshine. Finally, the sun is
I
out
could
there.
never
Still cool though, 69
work
degrees
for a
currently
news station.
there. But as we take a look at our satellite radar, want to show you the last 6 hours. So early this morning, we were seeing quite a bit of cloud cover that has now receded down to the coastline, and even some of those beaches are seeing some sunshine. Look at Lancaster. We are in the 100s currently.
Yeah,
And
it's
into
100
the basin,
degrees.
we're looking at 75
It's
for downtown
summertime.
Los Angeles. Some of those valleys in the upper 70s. Van Nuys at 78. Woodland Hills 82 degrees. And Orange County, you are feeling 70s and even some mid 60s for the Newport Coast.
Current temperature in Phoenix
Santa Ana.
is 106.
Inland Empire, you are warm. You are in the 80s from Fontana at 87, mid 80s in Redlands, upper 80s in Beaumont into San Jacinto, and even low 90s for Hemet. Heading into our mountain areas, it's warm too in Big Bear, 77 degrees currently. So here's a look at our futurecast heading into tonight. That marine layer starts to move in once again, and this is what you are waking up to. So for parts of LA into Orange County, those inland spots, you're going to be waking up to some cloud cover once again, as well as the coastline. By the afternoon, most of us are seeing some sunshine, a little cloud cover still for some of our beaches in
Get
Orange
back to the
County tomorrow
protest.
afternoon. And then by Wednesday, we do it all over again with less clearing on Wednesday. You can see 2 o'clock on Wednesday and still the coastline seeing some gray skies. But tomorrow is expected to be a warm day. We're looking at inland spots in the low 90s for the valleys.
Like I said,
Inland Empire,
it's
you're looking at
summertime.
mid-90s, 102 in the high desert, 84 in the mountains, low 80s for LAOC Metro, and 72 across coastal areas with still some clouds in the afternoon. But the warmer than average trend is going to continue with us into the weekend and even into early next week. Although by early next week, temperatures do start to drop a bit. You'll see it here in the 7-day forecast. LAOC Metro, you are in the low
That would be a
80s,
very nice day
warmer
in
by
Phoenix.
Father's Day on Sunday, 81,
Low
and then
80s.
back down into the
That'd
low
be a
80s.
very nice
But
day.
mid-70s is where we should be for this time of year. So
Very
over
nice.
the extended period, we're looking at above average temperatures. We'll take a look at the rest of our regions coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll check back with you later. Olga, thank you. LA Mayor Karen Bass trying to dispel some perceptions of what happened downtown over the past few days. She told CNN the violence was contained to a few streets and called for future protests to be peaceful.
This is not citywide civil unrest taking place in Los Angeles. A few streets downtown, it looks horrible. People committed crimes. It is absolutely unacceptable. And those people that set cars on fire or did other forms of vandalism will be sought to be arrested and prosecuted. This is not the way to promote a cause like immigrant rights.
Well, she then sent a tweet which reads in part, as a united city, we are demanding the end to these lawless attacks on our communities. Los Angeles will always stand with everyone who call our city home.
Well, the state is suing the Trump administration, accusing the president of abusing federal authority and escalating civil unrest right here.
What we saw yesterday happened after the president's unnecessary, counterproductive, and most importantly, unlawful order.
Governor Newsom maintains
Unlawful.
state authorities are equipped to manage protests, while
Prove
President
it.
Trump says deploying the National Guard was necessary to restore law and order. Bonta says he
Prove
is
that it
suing
was
the Trump
unlawful.
administration for trampling state sovereignty, accusing the White House of abusing federal authority. He says the state will ask
FYI,
the deployment.
federal supersedes state.
Serving up help.
Period.
Yeah, how a local restaurant came to the rescue of injured deputies and protesters when immigration raid demonstrations took a violent turn.
And I'm assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. We're continuing our coverage of the immigration raids and rallies happening in downtown Los Angeles. We'll check in with SkyCal again after the break.
Oh, come on. Well, I can't stand mainstream news anymore.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing,
It's just-
getting it right every time, which is why every
It's just
hand-battered
idiots.
to order chicken finger meal we serve is made just for you.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Oh, here we go. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. I'll tell you right now. Me and my wife stopped probably a couple weeks ago at Raising Cane's. And we both agreed that it was overpriced garbage.
Sure, quiet fast, didn't they?
I got chicken nuggets. They tasted worse than the great value chicken nuggets that I get from Walmart. And of course, I told someone that, and they're all like, "Oh, the Raising Cane sauce," and I'm like, if you have to put sauce on food for it to taste good, then that place shouldn't be selling food. Period. Because that's not good food if you got to drown it in freaking sauce. Now, as you can see, this is the Portland Indy channel. I was restreaming him earlier.
Thank you, Jordan. Salute to you. Thank you for being a part of Gang Green, baby.
What? Do you see what these protesters are doing? Yelling and screaming. What does this accomplish? And people are always like, well, we have a right to protest. Yeah, you got a right to protest. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what does this protest accomplish? You can stand out there for a year. The cops in the National Guard can stand over by that federal building for a year. And you yelling till you lose your voice is going to accomplish nada. Nothing. But everybody gets mad when I bring up facts. That all these protesters are just idiots. Like earlier, they were the news channel that I was streaming. Oh, shows the world that we're under Nazi rule. Right. Why? Because we don't want illegals here raping and murdering women. This is all the result of yeah, exactly. Where are the Nazis? Because I guarantee you, if we were a Nazi country, this would not be going on. This would not be allowed. As somebody that back in high school did a paper on Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime, I studied it a whole lot for months. Everything that I could get my hands on about Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. And also, why did, if everybody's so pro-immigrant, why was the left and the Democrats all mad when Trump brought in the 50 or 60 asylum seekers that were white from South Africa? Huh? You want to know why they were mad? Because those people are going to vote Republican. You guys have proved it to yourself by your actions toward people like my wife, who's a red, white, and blue flag waving, Trump voting, conservative black woman. One of my wife's, well, a new hire at my wife's job, didn't realize that my wife was talking to the big boss at her job. You know, the one that signs everybody's checks. The woman's very first day walks up to my wife and was like, "Are you a coon?" And my wife was like, "What?" "Well, you're wearing a shirt with the American flag on it. You must be a conservative, so you must be a coon." my wife was like, "Oh, I wish my husband was here right now to video this, because you just lost your job." And the woman was like, "You can't fire me. Only the boss can fire me." And the boss was like, "I'm right here, and you're fired." Walked her out of the building. Oh, yeah, that was epic. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are. You have no right to go into an ICE building. Yeah. 50 white farmers in fear for their lives are more in numbers than 1 million plus freeloaders that were invited here. But of course, the Democrats didn't want them here because they're going to vote Republican. And yes, they were in fear for their lives. If you guys haven't seen the epic troll move that our president did when the leaders of South Africa were sitting right there saying that none of this is happening, and he said dim the lights, and boom, put it on TV for them all to watch. I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Oh, it's not going on? Well, here. Watch it on television.
Well, now college is over. And here.
Yeah, remember college? Now you've got to pay all that fucking money back. That you guys all thought that, Biden was gonna forgive everybody student loans. And trust me, My wife has a lot of student loans. And if anybody's going to get married, you might ask the person that you're thinking about marrying if they have student loans. Because come to find out, say my wife dies right now, all of her student loans become my student loans.
They won't touch the feds. I wouldn't hope they would.
Yep. So if you're going to marry someone, make sure that they don't have student loans.
That's your flag across the screen. Nothing is huge.
My wife was pissed when she found that out. She goes, so if something happens to me, you're going to be really screwed. And I'm like, yeah, I will be sleeping on my daughter's couch.
I didn't even double check.
See, I could have went to college for free. I went for 2 weeks. My dad worked at a college. And if you were a family member of a employee of the college, you got free everything. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to college. I went for 2 weeks. And yeah, as you can imagine, I didn't fit in. Because I didn't want to go out drinking all the time. I didn't want to go out and party all the time. Yeah. Yeah, Bub, I just played that. It was only on a couple streets. Oh, I freaking love it. This is going to pop off so bad. Because, Trump broke the law when he brought in the National Guard. And everybody's got civil rights. Yeah, how does a person that's not from this country have civil rights? And like a pastor that was on there earlier was like, we have the moral high ground. Really? So you're a pastor. Pastor of what church? So if all of us show up and show up in a bus and drop off like a couple dozen illegals at your church, are you going to give them room and board and money? No. Yeah, I did 2 weeks, and my dad was so freaking pissed. And I was just like, it's not for me. I wasn't in the whole partying and drinking and doing stupid shit. I wanted to make money. I quit going to college, got me a factory job, and worked there for 5 years. And after the 5 years, I had gotten divorced. My ex-wife at the time went crazy. And I was done living in the little podunk town that I was born and raised in, where at, 25 years old, I was going to parties where there were people that were 50 years old at the same party. Because that's all they knew how to do was party.
Super chatted $5. Illegals doing the right.
So I pulled up at the stoplight in our town, flipped a coin, and it landed on me going west. And for 6 months, I didn't have a mailing address. Well, it was my dad's house. I didn't have a cell phone, didn't have anything. I had my truck and the cash that was in my pocket. Which I always laugh when people are like, I can't afford to move. You know how I afforded to move? I had a giant yard sale and sold everything that I had. I left with my tools and some clothes. That was it. Yeah, Mario. They don't like the fact that the National Guard's there. Well, the news station that I was restreaming prior to restreaming Andy here said that I think 700 or 800 Marines are coming in. I love it. Because, yeah, this is a peaceful protest. Burning self-driving taxis, breaking windows, destroying cop cars, spray painting every flat surface. That's mostly peaceful in the eye of a Democrat. But, walking through the U.S. Capitol, single file in line, that's an insurrection. I had a person on TikTok in the live stream ask me if I was single and somebody that was a total 10, smoking hot, and had money, wanted to date me and would buy me a brand new car of my choice. And I could live with this person anywhere if I would be with that person. And I asked the simple question, are they a conservative or are they a Democrat? And the girl was like, well, they would be a Democrat. And I'm like, then no. Because my whole family is conservative. And if anybody's ever seen a video of me and my wife driving and talking, my wife is no beauty queen, but my wife's got a heart of gold. Hey, Val. Hey, Val, hang on. I got pictures. That's a picture of me with my, sorry, it's not one to focus. Come on. There we go. That's a picture of me with my granddaughter Renly, who's now 5. And I got more pictures. She is so precious. Just wants to laugh and giggle. Look at them beautiful eyes.
Extreme George, and I believe the DCC was attempting to assign units to the MFS.
South Spring Street, suspect not well on meeting 34 years wearing a white shirt, black pants, further handcuffs. Sticking us out to security guard.
Just wants to laugh and giggle.
G units in 11A 71, 11A 71, ambulance traffic 202 West Avenue 26, code 3, incident 2452, RD 412.
And there's more of them here.
Edward Boy 30 Mary 62 lasting Figueroa towards Washington. Suspect female black 25 to 26 years, ponytail gray outfit. Slash the Pierce tires with a knife. Code 2 incident 2488 RD 319. 6202 West Avenue 26.
That's my granddaughter doing the chicken banana.
Waterball super chatted $5. How pathetic is your city if you type in LA riots and the search engine says, please be more specific.
That's a mariachi girl again.
Thank you, Guava Ball.
425, respond to incident 2244. To the comments is code 2 incident 22.
Yeah, my daughter had professional pictures done. I know it's not one to focus.
2452, handle instead the ambulance traffic pedestrian involved at Fountain and Myra. So it's 1152.
1125, 1125, did you receive your cancellation?
Send me a. All right, hang on, Buff. Yeah, I just scared a I posted a YouTube short. I posted it yesterday. Me and both granddaughters. I got home last night after spending 2 days over there. I was exhausted. Not only was both of my granddaughters all over me, but my daughter's cat was all over me, like wanting to be right there with me at all times. And my daughter's dog was all over me. And then all the noise associated with all of that. It's like, I don't know if anybody can tell, but my home is very quiet. Very quiet. I like it quiet. Yeah, this is going to pop off. I guarantee it is. The only bad thing about going over to my daughter's for 2 days, one, I gained like 5 pounds. Because Saturday night she made breakfast for dinner. So it was sausage and bacon and eggs and hash browns and French toast. And it's like, oh my God. And then last night we had meatloaf and mashed potatoes and gravy and green beans. And see, my daughter, I've told her several times, I'm on a diet. I got to lose weight. Doctor's orders. She makes meatloaf and brings me a slab of meatloaf 2 inches thick. And of course, it was my daughter's cooking. And it was delicious. Oh, somebody popped in. Hey.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up? Some audio problems here.
Yeah, I noticed. Hey, drop your link into the comment.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, this crap is still going on. I mean, seriously. This is a fine example of how you do not have control over your city.
Yep. When the president has to bring in the National Guard and Marines, and not just normal Marines from 21 Palms. These are not like East Coast Marines. These are Marines that their base is in the middle of the freaking desert.
Oh, so they already angry.
Yeah. Because instead of getting shipped to Hawaii or somewhere nice and stuff, it's like, nope, we're going to send you to 21 Palms.
Yeah, that fucking mayor. The nerve of her to say, "Now, we're not going to let this go unchecked. People will be arrested." How are you going to arrest the people that are hiding their faces? You know, because they're so animated about their cause. They're so high strung on their belief, but you're hiding your face. Oh, let's see.
But they were all mad when the ICE agents were hiding their faces. They shouldn't be hiding their faces. We need to know who they are. The reason they're hiding their faces is because when this all started, people were doxing their families.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not a violent man. I have been violent in the past, did jail time for it. You come after my family, ooh, I'll just say this. I will proudly rock an orange jumpsuit. Or I will drag your corpse through the gates of Valhalla.
Yeah, man, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Exactly. Oh, I saw that. Speaking of carried by 6, I saw this video. It was at a funeral, and I guess the funeral home had mixed up the caskets and put the body in the display casket, which is just like thin cardboard. And right when they were getting ready to have the pallbearers sit the body on the thing that lowers the casket into the ground, the bottom of the casket fell out.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, lawsuit time. Lawsuit. Because how do you even put a monetary number on the amount of distress of seeing your family member fall out of the bottom of a casket? You're already going through emotional distress because you're burying a family member, and then seeing the bottom of the casket fall out and their body fall down.
That's abuse of a corpse.
Yeah. All because the funeral home mixed up the casket.
Wait, how do you even do that? What, did they not have a viewing? I mean, wait a minute.
Well, USC, it's on a supported thing when they're in the funeral home, and then they get rolled out to the hearse. The bottom of the casket is supported. But then when it comes out of the hearse, the pallbearers take it.
Yeah, I've carried a couple.
Yeah, I have too.
God, body never fell. Jesus Christ. Wouldn't know what to do. I was like, set it down, set it down, set it down. I don't know.
And if you guys want to find that video, just probably do a Google search. Body falls out of a casket.
That's why you got to get them black dudes from wherever they're at.
Oh,
that dance.
The
Gotta get
dancing
them.
ones?
Yeah,
Oh
you know
my
that
God.
casket good. That's guaranteed casket right there. I want to go out like that.
Me, I am getting cremated.
All right.
I already told my daughter and my wife what I want done. My wife was kind of iffy about it because what I want done is I want to be cremated at the same place my late wife was cremated. My daughter knows the address. And then I want my ashes mixed with hers and put in a big urn that's black. My wife's biggest thing is it legal? And I'm like, once you're out of the funeral home, whatever you do with the ashes, they're yours. And then she was like, all right, then who's going to take all your computer shit? Because I don't want to deal with it. And I'm like, trust me, my daughter's boyfriend will gladly come in here and unplug all this stuff and take it and set it up at his home. Because he is currently gaming on a like a 3 or 4 year old laptop that I had to set up an extra monitor on it.
Who is this? Who is this in the bottom right corner?
Oh, that's Portland Andy. That's the channel I'm restreaming.
Is he saying anything?
No.
Oh my! I hate these fucking people. Dude, I'm just gonna play what's going on and just sit here.
He always talks and stuff. He's just quiet now.
Southbound Alameda. 37mm is approved.
Yeah, it's only a few streets.
Yeah, normally he's way animated, but he's been live for like 4 hours now. He even had a stream once where when somebody donated a certain amount of money, he would stand up and rip his shirt off.
Okay.
I think he went through like 5 or 6 shirts. You know, that typical Hulk Hogan, rip his shirt off. I was all giving him shit. I'm like, you ain't got no fucking chest hair. Have your nuts even dropped yet?
Wow, this is again, this is not a protest. When traffic can't flow and you don't have a permit, no, this is not a protest. This is a takeover.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world.
Oh,
was
damn
just one
ads.
step in my journey.
Gotta love.
I wish I could put ads on my channel, but no, I was denied for monetization again and not given a reason.
Beautiful YouTube.
But my Explore Arizona channel, my travel channel, that I'm not monetized on because I've only got like 60 or 70 subscribers on it. YouTube is playing ads on it. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to re-edit all those videos and put a little clip in there at the start that I don't approve of the ads playing on this channel. That I'm not getting paid for any ad that you just watched. Because I don't think that's right for YouTube to do that.
No, that's not right at all. Using
If
your
they
platform
obviously-
to peddle their shit.
If they obviously think that that channel is good enough for them to put ads on, then they need to just go ahead and monetize me on it. because there's some awesome videos on that channel,
Let me see these things.
like sunrise time lapses driving from Phoenix to Flagstaff. A weather changing time lapse for me and my wife driving from Phoenix when it was just cloudy up to Prescott Valley, Arizona, where there was 5 inches of snow on the ground. Because for whatever reason, people love watching time-lapse videos. And I'm like, I will keep making them because it's super easy to do a time-lapse video.
What are you people achieving? You said earlier, you said the perfect thing earlier. These people can stand there forever. And at the end of the day, nothing's going to change.
Nothing ever.
This is
Nothing
federal
ever.
law being enacted.
Nothing ever gets accomplished from a protest. Nothing. Like that whole trucker protest, where all these people drove from California almost to Washington, D.C. And then they drove back to California. And then they drove back to almost Washington, D.C. That accomplished nothing.
Oh, some mandates did get lifted in the trucking industry. A lot of companies backed out of it because we were worried about that when I was last company I was local with. They straight up told us, it was like, no, we're not going to do that shit. Don't y'all worry. You're truck drivers. You're dealing with people every day from all over the place. If you get it, you get it. Just let us know. You know, take a test. You test positive, stay home. We get it. So I'm going to force you to do that shit. That's how you lose drivers. Like, that's smart. No, it's like that's coming from, you know, up top, the CEOs and shit. It was like, I'm about to have all our drivers quit. Fuck that. You're going to get sick anyway. Shit. We live in filth. I swear to God, I never had it during that time. Still driving.
I watched this woman on TikTok that works for a company, and what she does is whenever a driver just leaves their truck, she has to go out and get it. And she always does a video of what the truck looks like. She opened the door to this one truck and almost threw up.
Yeah.
She had to back up, and she was standing on the side of the truck holding the phone up to see if there was like a body in it. And it was, she goes, there's no body in it, but I can't go in this truck. She went around to the other side, rolled the window down, and left it sitting there for 3 days with the windows down. And then got in there with a can of Lysol and just started spraying everything down as she had a mask on, an N95 mask, to try to deal with the smell in this truck. And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. I've seen these guys, man. It's amazing how you let your, this is like your home. This is an extension of your home. How do you, if your truck looks like that, I'm scared to see what your house looks like.
I imagine their house is worse.
Absolutely.
Now
So
my
you just
house
got
ain't the
shit in
cleanest
there.
by no means.
Oh, yeah.
But
messy, but not that.
It doesn't smell. It doesn't even hardly smell like cigarettes because I have 3 Ionic Breeze air cleaners.
Jude Haas super chatted $5.
Yeah, I can't have my rig like that. It's just
She's watching too, please.
Hello, Elaine.
Now back when I
barely
was a truck
spacier
driver,
as it is.
What'd you make for dinner?
back when I was a truck driver many moons ago,
Like fried chicken, Elaine.
I never washed the outside of my truck, but the inside was kept clean. I see
Yeah.
these guys at the truck washes getting their trucks all shined up, and then the people out there, you know, the companies that come in and polish the aluminum and stuff. I'm like, if the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning.
Hell, I'm going to get mine washed tomorrow. But I owe her a bath. It's been about a month and a half, 2 months. Shit. And plus it's white. Doesn't help.
I actually
All
traded it.
all that polishing, yeah, I don't need all that. I was like, just
I
get the dirt
actually
off the
traded
paint.
a guy because he had just got a truck and wanted aluminum wheels on it. Just got a truck, had brand new, just steel wheels on it. And I'm like, yeah, if you want to pay to get them switched, I will give you my full set of polished wheels for your steel ones. My polished wheels probably had, each tire probably had 80, 90,000 miles on them. I got a brand new set of freaking tires. Didn't have to lift a finger.
You're just standing there. What are you accomplishing?
Nothing.
Hope you're having a great one.
And this fucking shit. This is this is literally a felony. This is you're interrupting the flow of interstate commerce.
Yep.
Every one of these motherfuckers standing in the street should be arrested.
They're just waiting for the sun to go down and for shit to pop off.
128, 13, 20 Queen, 21. Have you arrived?
Just waving Mexican flags. No, you should be waving American flags. You want to be here so bad. You want to stay here
Yep.
so bad. You want to be in this country so bad. You should be waving American flags. No, you waving Mexican flags. Go back to that country then. Since you're
Or
so
like-
proud of that country, get your ass back over there.
Or like all these videos I've been seeing, you know, that ICE deported a person that had been there for 30 years. You have 30 years to become an American citizen.
Yeah.
What the fuck is your excuse? And then, you know, somebody will say, well, it's too hard to be an American citizen and people here aren't welcoming. And then I'll go on to TikTok and somebody will post a video of them becoming a U.S. citizen. And in the comment section, there'll be, you know, thousands of people saying congratulations. But we're not welcoming.
Well, damn it, I need to go back and watch Short Circuit now.
99 cents. I had to create another alt to keep her my wife in the dark. Hughes, she
Johnny Five is alive.
No, not Johnny, but Benjamin Javati.
You'll never know.
Newton was asking him like where he was from.
You'll never know.
I think he said he was from like Cleveland or something. He was like, no, I mean like where are your parents from? He was like, oh, Pittsburgh or something. I was like, so you're from here, but in part 2, he was taking the citizenship test. I was like, well, you should be a citizen already by birth.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I gotta go back and watch that movie. God damn it.
Yeah, if you guys have never watched Short Circuit 1 and 2, it's a really cheesy like 80s movie, but it is funny.
Highly entertaining. One of my favorites.
A robot becomes self-aware. Johnny Five is alive. It's hilarious. And with all this AI shit we got going on now, I was talking with my daughter's boyfriend Randy about it. And I'm like, bro, we have made leaps and bounds in the last year. What's it going to be in another year? I'm like, has people nowadays forgotten about Skynet?
Look, they can kiss my ass with that shit, all this self-driving, all this crap. When I go to the bathroom to take a crap at these truck stops and shit, and they got the toilet seat liners, you know, take one out, I'll put one down, take another one out, you know, double layer. And then as I turn around, the toilet flushes. You can't get that to work right. We don't need no more technology past the self-flushing toilet. Figure that out first.
Yeah.
Automatic sinks. Figure those out first. When I got my hands all soaked up and I stick them underneath that sink and it does nothing,
Yeah.
figure that out first before you have semi self-driving. No.
Or the thing that pisses me off is these stores that have these sliding open doors that aren't adjusted right. I shouldn't have to stop and wait for the fucking automatic door to slide open. It should be able to see me from enough distance away at a fat disabled man walking pace for the door to fucking open.
So you make some good automatic sliding doors. Stanley. They make some good ones because a lot of theirs come with a pressure pad system that's a pretty good distance away. So by the time you step on that pad, it works with the sensor up top too, and boom, it opens. And it'll be open just in time when you get those next two steps. I've noticed that with Stanley's. The rest of them, crap.
I can't even get the fucking automatic lights in my bathroom to work right.
Ugh.
Yes, our apartment complex came in and instead of fixing my sink or my washing machine that's been broke for 3 weeks now, they came in and made these like motion sensor lights in the bathroom.
Oh, fuck off with that.
Well, unless you're sitting on the fucking toilet doing this, you'll be sitting in there, and after about 30 seconds, lights go out.
Been there.
And I'm like, son of a bitch.
I have definitely been on the crapper and the lights went out. I was like, you mother.
And it's like big sea of water. My wife was in the shower earlier getting ready for work. Water goes off. Yeah, my 300 plus pound, 5'10" black security guard wife. Woo, she was pissed. I heard her yell over my noise canceling headphones all the way across the apartment complex. I mean, our home here. Which you got to go out this door, down a hallway, around the corner, into the master bedroom, through the master bedroom, into another hallway, into the bathroom. Like as far away from me as you can get. And I heard her yell.
Whatever you want, I'm here for you, right?
She was like, mother beep.
She was mad.
Why do you need lights to take a crap? To make sure that there's no boogeyman in there when you're taking a crap.
Yeah, man, I'm missing them boogeyman.
Now, the only time I've ever had, and I actually installed them on my own, like motion lights, was at our last place that we lived at in Phoenix. The master bedroom upstairs had a giant walk-in closet, like 8 by 12 walk-in closet. And the light switch was like you went into the closet and turned, and then there was a switch. Not put on the outside where you normally think. So I you can buy these stick-on rechargeable motion sensor lights. That made sense. You're going to be moving around in the fucking closet, not sitting on a toilet, or worse yet, taking a shower and light goes off. So what am I going to go do? I'm going to go over and raid the other grandpa in the family. He saves everything, and I know he's got regular light switches in there. And I'm going to grab 2 of them. He saves everything. It's like I'm going to switch them out because it's not hard to do. A light switch is 2 wires. But now, I would love to have my computer set up on like Amazon Alexa, to where I can walk into my studio and be like, computer on, and it turns on. So while I'm doing other stuff, or like getting ready to do a video or a live stream, so I could be like, Alexa, put the flag up. Alexa, TB LEDs. Instead of me having to be like, okay, grab this, turn this on, grab my phone, turn the LEDs on. All right, I got to turn that light off.
Well, that thing's gonna be listening to everything you say.
The Daily Cowman super chatted.
The government listens to us anyway.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
So why not?
Whiskey on ice while ice chases you.
And if you think I'm joking, everybody, try to download something like a calculator on your cell phone without approving a calculator to have access to your camera and microphone.
Oh, you can say the equation,
The Daily Cowman.
which is dumb, but
Yeah.
Big Cowman likes it when you call him Big Puppy.
Oh, yeah, the snakes in the toilet. I had a friend that was terrified of a snake getting her in the toilet. It didn't matter if she had to like rush to the bathroom to go. She would like flush the toilet like two or three times. Oh, look at that. Democracy is awesome. Well, and that's why we're a constitutional republic. What is Trump going to chicken out? You forgot something there. When is Trump going to chicken out when he gets all the pushback that is happening right now? If there's any person alive that is never going to chicken out, that would be our president. Because remember when he was in Pennsylvania at the rally and was shot, and Secret Service were trying to escort him out of there. He threw his fist up in the air.
yes, I can't wait for Trump to get all this pushback for enforcing federal law. Yeah, I can't wait.
For doing what he said that he campaigned for.
Never doing what a president is supposed to do.
That we all voted for. And for making a human pit bull the border czar. Tom Homan is a human pit bull. Woo. I would not want to get that man mad at me. Oh, I'm gonna stand in the middle of the street because that's gonna get my point across.
I'm standing up for the rights of people who don't have rights protected under the Constitution because they're not fucking legal citizens here. But this is the Democrat way. They love criminals. They absolutely look at that Mangione guy.
Yeah.
All the love they had for him. That Anthony Carmelo, that piece of shit.
Oh my God. Everybody's like, he's innocent. He had the other guy's blood on him. And the weapon on him.
You had a weapon on school grounds at a school event. That's illegal.
At a school that wasn't his school.
Thank you again, Daily Cowman. So generous.
And then they were saying it was a cleat sharpener.
Yeah, okay, still a weapon.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. And look, there's rail tracks there. They've got the public transportation all shut down.
Yep. And
Why?
just
Because
commerce.
these people would go there and probably mess with the rail.
This is doing nothing but degrading LA's economy. Good job, Mayor.
Yep.
Of course, a black Democrat female, the worst mayor to have ever.
And then
Atlanta's
here in,
learned that.
here in Arizona, I feel like I was vindicated finally by every news station here. Because I used to have a prior Broken Patriot channel prior to this one that I started up in 2018. Well, that was when Katie Hobbs was running against Kari Lake for governor here. And I was making videos about Katie Hobbs, digging up every piece of dirt that I could find about that woman, and my channel got banned. No strikes, no anything, just banned. Because I kept saying Katie Hobbs is a bought and paid for piece of shit. And what did Katie Hobbs do recently? A bill went through the House and the Senate here, went to her desk to block China from buying farmland here in Arizona. She vetoed it.
Because they want the enemy at our gates. The worst person you can have in power of your city over your state is a Democrat, especially a black female. And I'm going to say that shit loud and proud because I'm tired of the black female mayors that have come through Atlanta. All corrupt. All the black mayors in Atlanta have been corrupt. Maybe Mayor Jackson, not so much. But the rest of them after him, corrupt. Something about them. You can't put these people in power. No. No.
That there isn't a person in DC, no matter who it is, that isn't corrupt.
Levels.
Because for the simple fact, hear me out, everyone. If you are elected to Congress and you're making $175,000 a year, we should be able to look at your tax records and your bank records 10 years from the time that you got elected. And the only deposits that should be in there are from the federal government for the money that you get paid for being a congressperson. There's too many people there that are, oh, well, I'm only making $175,000 a year, but now you're a millionaire. The math doesn't add up. You're corrupt. You're taking kickbacks. And that goes for everybody. Like, I made a video and my email blew up because these people don't want to come out and actually comment on a video on my channel and make it a public comment, so they'll email me. When the whole Elon Musk and Trump thing went down, and I said in the video, well, Elon laid it out on the table, and it's for Trump to release the whole Epstein files, all of it, unredacted. Release everything for Trump to prove that he wasn't there.
Ceiling Cat 9001 super
Elon's not
and just like that, they forgot
doing anything except saying it's in your court, Mr. President.
What are those idiots chanting? They never have a good chance at making any sense.
And look at the nice bought and paid for sign. You realize how much that sign cost to make?
Thank you.
Several hundreds of dollars to make that big sign that basically says Trump must go now.
No, you illegals must go now. You don't belong here. We're going to lose our benefits that the Democrats gave us. They put a carrot at the end of a stick and said, come on.
Makes me think of that old TV commercial where the guy was fishing. You almost had it. You almost had it.
Oh, the old dude with the money on the fishing line? Yes.
Yeah. Well, you promised us that we would be a citizen and that we would get money and a car and free housing.
I tell
Yes,
you what.
but then
What's-
you idiots started raping and murdering women.
Let's just
Started taking over apartment complexes in Colorado.
let's just put a wall around San Diego and let them have that.
Let's just put a wall, like basically follow the Colorado River up, and the whole West Coast could be their own thing. I've heard people say, you know, oh, California is gonna leave the union. I've heard the same thing about Texas. Texas is gonna leave the union. Bye. Because there is no state in the U.S. that would survive even a year
Oh, is this guy controlling that
without
camera?
federal funding.
It is.
None.
The helicopter dude
Most
is
of these
controlling
countries in this world wouldn't last a year without federal funding, without our taxpayer dollars going to them. And yes, that includes Israel.
I do appreciate you doing
Because
that.
everybody's always like, what do you talk bad about Israel? Look how much money we have to send them every freaking year. That we could, we're still sending money to the Taliban every year. And our government proved when they fought so hard against Elon Musk and Doge that that's what they want to do. They don't want to help out the American citizen. Oh, but we have to go fund gender studies for ducks in Europe.
Ethiopian transgender comic book studies. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. We shouldn't be funding anything that does not enrich our country, the people of this country. No, anything other than that, no. Fuck you.
We're gonna push south, it looks like.
Mad because they lost their piggy bank.
Yep. Well, they haven't lost it because none of it's been codified into law. Which I was on someone else's live stream arguing about that. Because they said, well, Trump signed an executive order. I'm like, that's a signature on a fucking piece of paper. That's not law. It's an order. Until Congress and the Senate codify it into law, it's a signature on a piece of fucking paper. Just like all the executive orders that Biden did that didn't get codified into law. As soon as Trump came in, wiped them all out. And then all these people that are like, Trump 2028. Trump could run again in 2028 because he didn't have two consecutive terms. No.
That's not how it works.
And then they were saying their newest thing is, because people has explained it to me, how Trump could be president in 2028. That he will run as J.D. Vance's vice president. And then the day after Inauguration Day, J.D. Vance steps down and Trump becomes president again.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. That's what they'll do.
And I'm just like, right. I don't think Trump wants to be president after these 4 years.
Nah.
And then everybody was all asking about, well, who ran the auto pen? who ran the auto pen. I'm like, that was Obama. Everybody seemed to forget about the interview that Obama did where they asked him about a third term, where he said that maybe if he had a front man with a earpiece in, where he
Yep.
could sit in his basement in his pajamas.
Yep.
And if you think I'm joking, everybody, go look it up. He
Look
said
it
that
up.
in
He
an
said that.
interview. And if you ever have tried to talk with somebody telling you what to say, basically, it's impossible. Like, if I plugged my headphones into my computer, the latency, the like 3 or 4 second latency, would make me stumble through what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my microphone has latency free monitoring. I never use it, but I've tried it out, and it's just weird to hear my voice coming through. Weird. But yeah, imagine trying to walk and do everything when you got a person in your ear talking to you. And it was proven. There was a incident where Biden was walking up, and there was a military member, and Biden said, "Salute the troops." He repeated what was said in his ear, not. And everybody's like, "No." I'm like, "Really?"
No, the proof is in the pudding. It's on camera. It's on video, unaltered. We will stand up for democracy. Turn to the right and look at the group over there. And you great people like, what? Wait. That shit is live.
Yep.
No, that's not what happened.
That's why I love the time period that we're living in now. Because I don't know how many videos that I've taken off the internet and put on my video editing software where I could slow it way the fuck down and see if they did any edits. Because, like, I could take a 10-second clip and slow it down to where 10 seconds is 5 minutes. So if there's, taking it by where a single frame, which most stuff is filmed in 60 frames a second, where I can look at every single frame of the video. And if there's an edit, it will show up as a black frame. Because I don't use basic editing software that's free on the internet. My editing software now is up to $35 a month.
Fuck you. No, what do you use? Because I'm looking for some software. I'm using this iMovie just because I don't know what to go with.
I use Wondershare Filmora 14. It's a very big program if you pay for the whole thing. Like, there's different paywalls in there. Like, oh, if you want to do more of this, then here you gotta pay for this. Like, there's so much. Like, I just used the normal version, and now I'm gonna have to start paying for the simple thing of if I put text on my video. Like, I will put text at the bottom of the video, and I'll have to pay for that. The free trial of that, the free trial is running out, and I'm like, all right, but like my intro was a free intro on there. It's in the there's an intro section, and all different kinds of intros, backgrounds, everything. I made that video by taking a 30-second clip, holding down 2 buttons on my keyboard for 5 minutes. took a 30-second clip and made a 10-hour video. And you can also, there's different templates on it. So say I wanted to, I could do YouTube shorts. I can make TikTok videos on it. I like it for the simple fact that I don't have to set anything up like OBS. Because I don't know how many times, dark 30 in the morning, I can't sleep, and some breaking news happens, and I'm the first person that made a video about it because it literally takes 2 minutes to fire up my software. I click one button, and how my videos are set up, where it's me down in the corner, that's a one button click.
We are now approaching an area where protesters have high ground. PhD and sheriff will be helping with that.
Oh, it's only a few streets. And the high ground. I swear I just heard this guy say they got the high ground now.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
But yeah, when I first started making YouTube videos, I was trying everything. And everybody kept saying OBS, OBS, OBS. I can't stand OBS.
I tried OBS. I got an external module with it and everything, and it worked out great for Twitch when I did game streaming. But when it came to like making videos, like for movie reviews, it's like, this is useless. And streaming, I just found StreamYards. I'm like, oh, this works.
Yeah.
I don't even really use my OBS anymore. I don't even do Twitch streaming anymore.
And if anybody wants a backdoor hack into not having to pay for StreamYard Pro, just set up more email addresses. And then when your 20 hours runs out, log out of that one, type in a new email address. It will send you a link to the like what is it, 5 or 6 numbers, and you got another 20 hours. Easy.
Actually, it's a good idea. Yeah, that is a good idea. I'm paying for my StreamYard though, but that would actually work. No, I kind of had to give in for. Well, I didn't give in. My producer paid for it. He's paying for it. So I could add him on as a host. So he has buttons and everything, and so I can do unlimited and just not have to worry about stuff like that.
Now,
so he's a sponsor.
There is a lot of new stuff. Like if you guys use StreamYard, above the chat, it will show. There's a little thing that says show comments on stage.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
You have to pay for it. I don't like that. That's what people that stream on Twitch do. I want to watch you. Like I don't want to watch the comments on the video.
I don't want every comment.
As well as the comment section.
Yeah, I want to vet my comments. I don't want everybody just typing everything in there. And it just pops up automatically. No. I'm going to vet your comments. I'll decide what gets up there.
And always, anybody that is live streaming, monitor your video. My stream is being played on my phone. I got my phone sitting here, so all I gotta do is look over and see that my stream is looking perfect. And also, it gives you one extra view. So if I wanted to, on my 7 or 8 YouTube channels that I have, I could get my laptop, put one channel on there, watching it. I could take my computer that's sitting over there, have it playing 2 or 3 other channels. I could take my wife's Stream Deck, stream. She got a Samsung Stream laptop thing, garbage. And she really hates it now that she switched phones and gave me her Samsung Galaxy. and went to a Rev phone. Like I think she got a Rebel 7 because it doesn't automatically sync with her streaming laptop. I was shocked when my wife was like, "Here, I'm going to get a different phone so you can have two phones." So I'm like, "All right, what are you going to get?" Well, I really like this phone, and it was a phone that's like a $200 phone, not even a flagship phone, and hands me a flagship Samsung Galaxy. I'm like, okay.
Ambulance TC, bicyclist involved, 157 South Fairfax Avenue, 157.
And yes, everybody thinks I'm crazy for having two phones. No. You don't understand. I just don't make content for YouTube. I make content for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X. Remember that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I try to monitor my streams. I found out fucking this TV they put in my trunk. It's a monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So I run dual monitors when I'm streaming up the truck. I'm like, this is awesome. So I have that tab over there and
Yeah,
check in on
I have
everything
set
else.
so many people up here in the Phoenix Valley with a extra monitor and show them how to use it, and they're all like, "Oh my God, why doesn't all computers come with this?" And I'm like, I can't even use one monitor. I have 4 monitors in front of me. I got 3 here and a 32-inch television hanging on the wall. And I'm going to try.
Stream on that one.
I'm going to try because I got those running off my graphics card. But my
Okay.
motherboard has 2 HDMI outs that run off of the CPU. Because Intel CPUs have basically like a built-in GPU in them to where they can put a video feed out. So I'm going to see if I can plug into those and it not mess everything up. So I could have like 6 monitors here. And then I want to get what's called a KBM switch. So I can sit here at my desk and use this keyboard and mouse to run that computer. Because what a KBM switch does, it's got 1 or 2 on it. And you can have it set up for 1 being your main computer. And when you push 2, it automatically sends a signal from your keyboard, mouse, webcam, microphone, anything that's plugged into the switch to the other tower. I didn't used to be all into tech, but now I'm all like, if I was rich, the amount of shit that I would have. Because back when I started YouTube in 2018, I didn't even know how to turn a computer on. My daughter had to show me how to turn a computer on. And now I'm all like, I got a gaming system and multiple monitors, and I can run that screen off my tower.
I had to get back into it. I was real tech heavy back in the day. Like my freshman year, I built the computer at high school because they changed our wood shop over to technology. No, that was 8th grade. They changed that class. I'm just like, well, I'll take it. And one of the modules was building a computer, so I did that. I was like, oh, I got into technology. I was like, I built it and made it work and everything. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And then I got into cars, and then I'm like,
yeah,
I should have integrated the two.
Cars and girls and
and marriage.
Yeah. And see,
other-
I'm all into tech, but the hardware side of it, not the software side. But I've got a computer genius that lives in Phoenix. His name is Dennis. And yes, I call him a computer genius because he can take Windows 11 right when it first came out, when you could only put it on like new hardware. He put it on a Toshiba laptop that was the thick ones. Like when laptops first came out, it was a Windows 7 laptop, and he made Windows 11 run on it because he can all go in there and pull stuff up and type in code and stuff, and yep, it can run it. And I'm just all like, holy shit. Like, he has worked on my main tower here so many times. And I'm all like, just go in there and do whatever you want to do. And he's all like, okay, we're going to switch this. We're going to switch this. We're going to switch this. My daughter asked me Saturday if I was ever going to get a new tower. And I'm like, you got 15 grand? She goes, for a computer tower? And I'm like, this tower that I got, a friend of mine went back and looked up what all the stuff cost when it was new, when it came out 10 years ago. This is a $4,000 computer 10 years ago. Asus ROG Maximus motherboard, i7 4790K CPU, like the most expensive shit you could get when it was new. Woo, I bet that hurt. That's gonna leave a mark in the morning.
But it's for the cause.
But I was
Whatever
like,
the
yeah.
cause is.
And she goes, there's no way it costs that much. So I'm like, all right, look up on your phone what a NVIDIA 5090 graphics card cost. She was like, that's $3,000. I'm like, yeah, that's just a graphics card. That ain't all the rest of the stuff to be able to run it. It takes a 1,200 watt power supply to be able to run it. That's a $400 power supply. And then the newest baller Ryzen CPU. I don't remember the number, but it's an X3D one, 16 core, 32 thread. That's like $1,000. The motherboard to be able to do everything that mine does is $2,000. Because like mine's got a little digital readout. So if something goes wrong, there's a 2-digit number that will pop up. I look the 2-digit number up, and it will tell me what's going on. Why is it not happy? Like when my power supply was going out. Every time my computer crashed, it came up with a number saying that it was power supply. Even right now, if I were to go on Amazon and buy this motherboard, new old stock on Amazon, it's $400. A motherboard that's now 11 years old. The RAM that I have in there, I have 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM. That's still $100 right now for RAM that's 10 years old. And she was like, so I see that you're never going to get a new computer. I'm like, no, because these ones that you see for sale for, oh, here's a brand new computer for $1,000. Yeah, no. That would be like telling somebody to stop driving their 10-year-old Bentley for a brand new Honda Civic. No, a 10-year-old Bentley is still much cooler. And I follow this channel called Hoobie's Garage. He's a car channel out of Kansas. He bought at a estate auction. I think it was a 65 or 66
Say it.
Rolls Royce that was in like perfect shape. Didn't leak anything. He drove it to his auto mechanic, 75, 80 miles an hour down the interstate. Perfect shape. Right-hand drive, Rolls Royce. He paid $4,600 for it. And it's when you think of a old school Rolls Royce, that's what his car is. White with the blue top, with the blue leather interior, with the little trays on the back of the front seats that fold down so the rear seat passengers have little trays. The really thick, like 2-inch thick carpet. All the real wood trim in it.
See, I gotta go to an estate sale with my pops. He does that a lot. And he finds all kinds of crazy deals. These people, they don't know why the person who's passed on, why they have this thing, and they don't know what it's worth. Just like, give me $20 for it, and then you find out it's worth, this is worth about $500. I'm like, sweet.
I bought a box. I bought a box of like random crap at a auction once, sitting on the side of this trailer. This big box. Well, after they had moved on, I think I paid $4 or $5 for this box of random crap. I go to pick the box up and I can't pick the box up. So I just stand there by my boxes. I'm like, there's something really heavy in the bottom of this. I can't pick this box up. I start sorting through. There was a 30-foot, half-inch length log chain in the bottom of that box. I sold that log chain to my neighbor for $50. 30-foot long, like super heavy duty, half-inch length. Not the normal stuff you go to Walmart and buy a log chain. No, this was like you're going to strap a D9 dozer down to a lowboy trailer log chain. I didn't even keep any of the rest of the stuff. I just, as soon as I saw that, I just took one link of the chain out and pulled it all out of the box and pulled it over to my truck. There was people there that were like, man, I will give you $20 for that chain. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you will.
Mm-hmm. I have a friend once that he did the storage unit stuff, and he got a storage unit for like $500. It was a pretty big unit, but it was like, he said, like when they opened it up, it was like, a bunch of bags and boxes, so people couldn't really see what was going on. It's just normal boxes, nothing stood out, so nobody bid on it. And they started it at 200, and somebody bid on it with him. But when he got to 500, they backed out, so he got it for 500. And like, all right, cool. So he's going through it, and sure as hell enough, this motherfucker's moving these boxes around and notices, well, these are kind of strangely placed. This fucker found a Porsche 911 Turbo
with a wall of boxes in front of it.
No, the fucker stacked the boxes around the car and made like a box fort around the car, and put like clothes and stuff, kind of like bags of clothes. And he's like, it's going through that, going through that. The boxes were empty. He found a fucking car. I was like, holy shit, that's pretty cool. They're like, did it run? He was like, shit. $1,500 later, he had the car running. That's fucking cool. So he ended up just fixing it up a little bit and sold it. I forgot how much he said he sold it for, but he made profit, mad profit, of course.
Back when I was in high school, I owned a Porsche, and everybody was like, that ain't a Porsche. And
Nope.
I'm like, it's got a Porsche badge on it. It says Porsche on the title, but no respecting Porsche owner would ever say that it was a Porsche. It was a Porsche 914. Basically a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia with a Porsche badge on it. It had an air-cooled Volkswagen motor in it. But the key said Porsche. The car said Porsche on the back of it. Steering wheel said Porsche.
Yep, that's a Porsche.
And in case anybody doesn't have any idea what it is here. Porsche 914. That is a Porsche 914.
Yeah.
And yes,
Best
my
friend
big
from high school. He had that rare model of that one where they found it and restored it, and he sold it for a pretty penny. That's a rare one.
Yeah, my big 6 foot tall ass could fit in it. Why?
I bet you couldn't. There's not much room in that car.
Well,
I
the engines in
that car once.
The engines in the back, so there's tons of leg room. If you can fold your legs up to get him into the footwell, there's a lot of room. Like,
I wouldn't drive it.
I've owned several bugs. I even owned a super rare one that sucked, but it was super rare. Everybody at car shows would just like gather around it because they never saw a Volkswagen Bug with an automatic transmission. Yeah, it was called the Auto Stick. There was no clutch pedal. To work the clutch, you push down on the top of the shifter. There was a wire coming down from the shift knob to work the solenoid to work the clutch. Yeah, slow as hell. I swear a modern riding lawnmower probably has more horsepower than that car did. But I fully restored it. I didn't hop it up. I took it back to the original cream color and, you know, did a cheap budget Mako paint job on it. And I will never, ever, ever, ever again restore a Volkswagen Bug. You want to know why? Because to do the headliner, you have to take every single window of the car out. Because that's what you tuck the headliner into.
Yeah.
Where the windows go. So, like getting the front window out and stuff was all fine. But when you're sitting in that cramped little back seat, trying to get that side window out or the back window. There was a guy at a car show that asked me if I would sell it, and I'm like, "What are you offering?" He goes, "I'll give you $2,500 for it." I'm like, I just held my hand out, and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have the title in the glove box. I have a pen in my pocket. You put $2,500 into my hand, it's your car right now. I will take my license plate off and hand you the title and keys." 20 minutes later, I didn't own that Bug anymore. I had to teach him how to drive it.
No.
Because it was a little weird that it had a park. So when you parked it, you had to put it in park. But it was I think it had three speeds, but you had to push down on the shifter to a shift. Weird. But whenever you whenever I would show up at a car show, people would walk past and they'd see that little chrome script on the deck lid that said auto stick. People in like muscle cars were like, why is everybody over at your car? And I'm like, it's an auto stick bug. A what? Yeah, nobody had ever seen one. Yeah, super rare car. Because it was super crappy. Oh, here we go. It's just going to start popping off. Another super rare car that I owned that was also super crappy.
It's awesome.
And some of y'all might remember this car, but most of y'all won't. It was a little French car that was sold in the U.S. back in the 80s. The Renault Encore. That car, to be able to go up a hill in the summertime, you had to turn the air conditioner off. By turning the air conditioner off, it literally probably gave you like 20 extra horsepower. Like you can start going up a hill, turn the air off, and the tachometer would go up. Because just by turning the air conditioner on, slowed the car down. But I was the only one in the high school parking lot that was driving a French car. Everybody else had their square body Chevys and stuff, and here I am getting all these girls in a cute little French car. But the car that I had in high school that got the most girls, a convertible Volkswagen Rabbit. Volkswagen Cabriolet, as it was called.
Yeah, I remember that motherfucker.
think the iconic girls 80s movie car, the Volkswagen Cabriolet, which was basically a Volkswagen Rabbit with the drop top.
Don't deport her, please.
Girls don't want loud trucks. They want cutesy little cars.
66 044 on 7 Sam Ocean Adam 718.
Here, like a year ago, my daughter asked me, we always talk about the craziest stuff, and she goes, Dad, what's your body count? And I'm like, I've never killed anybody. She goes, no, not that, and thank God that you haven't. But, you know, like, how many women have you been with? And I started counting, naming women off. And then I got to the second hand, and she was like, oh, my God. Then I got back over to this hand. She goes, you've been with 12 women? I'm like, yeah. She goes, how? And I'm like, simple.
Easily.
Something that most men are terrified to do. Walk up and ask a girl out.
Yeah, right.
Without spitting game, without anything. Walk up and ask a girl out. I'm like, I asked your mom out at a strip club. She was a stripper. I didn't spit game. I just said, hey, my name is Mike. Would you like to go to dinner sometime? And because that was so shocking to her, she said yes. 6 months later, we were married. Had an iconic wedding. Married at a bar with the stripper pole in the background. My 250-pound ugly ass married a 5'2", 110-pound stripper. And I have told that story so many times that people are like, so you just walk up to him and ask him out? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
How I got my current wife. we were talking online. We had met on this dating app. And I'm like, hey, I got a bed in the shower if you ever want to come over. She was all like, seriously? And I'm like, yeah. You're welcome at my place anytime. Then she called me. She was at work and didn't have a way to get back home. And I'm like, wait right there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I picked her up and I'm like, let's go home. I never took her back to her sister's place that she was staying with. I will walk up to anybody and ask them anything. I would walk up to Donald Trump and ask him if I could see a picture of his wife naked. Period. You're either going to get a yes or a no.
You asked me so nicely. Yeah, that was a great way to ask that question. I tell you what I'll do. Come here, look here.
And for those of you that don't know, you type in Melania Trump nude onto Google. There's pictures of her online. Not AI pictures, like actual pictures. She posed nude years ago. And yes, Trump is a very, 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 very lucky man. Oh, here we go. I see the pepper spray.
Mercedes C300, suspects for 2 male Hispanic, 14 to 16 years, faces covered, number 1 short sleeve.
And the baddest thing I've ever seen Trump's wife do was on Inauguration Day, when she wore that all black with that big brimmed black hat, straight up looking like a gangster. Oh, that was. It's like you raided my house and went through my underwear drawer. It's on, motherfuckers. And then whatever. And I would pay good money, and I'm sure everybody would pay good money to hear what Barron Trump said to Biden. Because he said something to Joe Biden that took the smirk right off of that man's face. Like, there's probably enough people in this country that would make Barron Trump a millionaire just by giving him money for him to, like, go onto a talk show on the Joe Rogan or the Tim Pool podcast to say what he told Biden. Because I've never seen a man ever go from all smirking to like somebody, like he had just found a turd in his ice cream. Oh, there's 2 people streaming on Facebook. And everybody else is streaming on TikTok. So for everyone that hates TikTok, TikTok's where it's at, everybody.
I deleted my TikTok. I deleted my Twitter. Not because I was disgusted with anything. I just needed space for other things on my phone. So there was like 2 platforms I really don't go on. I was like, I don't need these anymore. I don't really go on there.
That's why I have 2 phones. Which everybody's like, when I announced that I got 2 phones, everybody's like, why? And I'm like, well, let's see. Me and my wife are driving somewhere in the state of Arizona. I could have one phone filming a time lapse for my Arizona channel, and the other phone filming us doing our typical driving and talking videos on it. I got a mount for my tripod that I could put 2 phones on. A little aluminum bar that you screw down to the tripod in the middle, and then you put 2 phone mounts on it. During monsoon season coming up, I can be making content on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. And if I'm all busy like I was over my daughter's house and one phone goes dead while it's sitting on a charger charging, I grab my other phone because these phones are mirror image. Like exactly how this phone is set up, my other phone is set up the exact same way. And since Samsung tried to be an iPhone with the latest UI update, I've had to go through both phones after watching TikTok videos of people that have figured out how to turn all that shit off and set everything back like how it was supposed to be. Like one of the new things in the update is everybody's battery was draining. Like 2-3 hours and your battery was dead. Well, that's because all this other shit was turned on. Like monitoring everything that
offers assistance
you were doing.
programs that can help keep you in power.
Which I don't care about my phone monitoring me.
With more room for his team and their gear.
Like a lot of people, you know, freak out about being on camera and being monitored. I have said for years, if somebody wants, if the government wants to watch me take a piss, then by all means. Oh, here we go. Popping off.
Newton Yai super chatted $5. Smash
Andy's
that
tired.
button like button fam, thumbs up.
Right, nothing, yeah. All units, go for it, check current port. Will continue candidates here.
Yeah, if anybody wants to follow me on any other social media, just look for my logo. I did have to send a cease and desist letter to one TikToker that was impersonating me. Every video that I would put up, they would put up. Had my logo, my name, everything.
A normal person super chatted $9.99. Remember when Rittenhouse tagged 3 people that were attacking him, and all 3 turned out to be convicted heads.
Yep.
Same crowd here. These people are so fun. King, we.
That was awesome when Rittenhouse done that. Literally about blew a dude's arm off. And boy, the left was like, oh my God, how dare he do that?
Absolutely justified.
Yep. And he got paid. He sued everybody for defamation of character, including the queen bitch herself, Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh yeah. I love how they tried to. I love how they tried to pick on him about that. You know, when he was crying on the stand. You know what? And then I'm gonna take that expression with me to the bank while I cash this check that y'all gotta pay to me. I'm gonna be in the bank like, I need to cash this. Shit.
Thank you, Miss Goldberg. I can now wipe my ass with $100 bills. Thanks to you.
I don't understand how there's still a show.
See, this is what I don't get. The one that's in the red here. Being at one of these protests and arguing with someone. Arguing doesn't solve anything. And it trips out everybody when I say that me and my wife don't argue. Been married for 10 years. We don't argue. We have actually tried to argue, and we'll end up laughing on how stupid it is for a couple, especially a couple that's married, to argue. Look at how she's got that crutch, and she's not even really using it. Oh, God. Oh. I went to one protest years ago, and I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, I've been in one protest in my life, I think. I think only one. And we did it on Montgomery, Alabama over them increasing tuition rates at our college or for statewide and everything.
That
No,
makes
we
sense.
weren't in the streets. We were on the sidewalks, in the parks. There was a lot of us there too.
Yeah.
There's none of this blocking the streets. And we sure as hell got their attention, and they roofed through what they were going to do. We won.
Michael Blaine super chatted $4.99. The real reason they are protesting is they are
No cop cars were burned. No private businesses owned by black people or minorities were damaged. Simple protest, us and signs and chanting.
Yep. I went to a protest. We were on Camelback Road here in Phoenix. One of the state politicians there has an office. And it's like, why? The only reason I showed up is because I got this great big 5x10 American flag. Well, my ass went to Home Depot and bought 2 10-foot long sections of 2-inch drain pipe and the little coupler that you glue the pipes together. And I attached that giant ass flag to a 20-foot section of pipe. Because everybody's got their little flags and stuff. And then here I show up in my truck and I pull this giant flag out in this giant flagpole. It's like, hey, whose dick's bigger? Wow, the flag's 20 feet up in the air.
Excuse me, sir, you're blocking the sun.
And there just happened to be just enough breeze that day that the flag was just waving.
Nice.
Hell, anytime people come over and they don't know that I got a 10-foot long flag taking up one whole wall in my living room, they're all like, whoa, dude, that's the biggest flag I ever seen. Yeah, because you've never been to a military funeral. That 5x10 American flag is used for one thing: to cover a casket. I bought it at a like a ghetto version of a Goodwill.
Wait a minute, there's a ghetto version of a Goodwill. I thought they were all
yeah.
ghetto. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't a Goodwill, but it would make a Goodwill look like a 5-star place to go shopping. It was that ghetto. Then it was right during the 4th, so they had all their American flag stuff out on this one rack. Down the bottom, covered in dirt because it had been knocked on the floor a whole bunch of times, was this folded military flag. Folded in a triangle. I think I paid $20 for it. Took it to a dry cleaner that was a vet, and he cleaned it for me. Anytime that I need it cleaned, I take it back to him once a year to clean it. But the cool thing is, it's a flag from the Arizona Flag Company. So it's Arizona, but it's spaced out. Arizona Flag Company. And that flag is heavy.
I'd imagine.
But so many people are like, you should have left it all folded. I'm like, it needed unfolded to be able to be cleaned. Well, why was it at a thrift store? Well, if you think about it, if Billy Bob was in the military, and he dies, and he's married to Betty Sue, and they didn't have any other kids or family. Well, when Betty Sue dies, all their stuff gets dumped off by their landlord or the state at a thrift store.
Yeah, I don't know how big my flag is. That one when I got sworn in with the sheriff's department. I've never taken it out of its case. I'm not sure how big it is, but shit, I dare not take it out of there. Let's present it to me like that, and I'm gonna leave it like that.
Yep, we have my father-in-law's flag in the case. My mother-in-law didn't want it and asked me and my wife if we wanted it, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, really? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
And it's
America.
And it's sitting on a shelf in our living room. And I was going through all my other flags, and I found a 48 star flag. Arizona's the 48th state. And it's super thin. Like, think of how thick a normal American flag is and cut it in a third is how thin this flag is. I don't even know where I got it at. I think somebody probably gave it to me.
Oh, that sounds like it's about as thin as my rebel flag. That thing is pretty thin.
Super thin. Like, you can hold it up and see through it. It's that thin. Like, I've just got it all folded up and stuff. I unfolded it once, and I was like, ooh, let's fold this back up.
Oh, wait, my rebel flag isn't that thin. It's probably my POW flag that might be that thin, because I could see through that one.
Oh, speaking of POW flag, I took a picture of it and shared it on the internet. The closest post office to me here in Mesa, Arizona, they have an American flag flying. Well, right under they have the POW MIA flag. And I'm like, yeah, because we went to that post office to, change our address and stuff to Mesa, and I'm like, yep, this is my post office now. Not an Arizona flag or stupid pride flag or anything, a POW MIA flag, just slightly smaller than the American flag. Like that.
Oh my God, where did I see that flag today?
But one of the coolest things that I own that my wife bought me, let me make it big again, is this.
Oh, is that metal? Nice.
Yeah. I've had people say, why do you love your wife so much? Because she buys me stuff like that. Like everything on that wall, except for that Life magazine, she has bought me. That's a handmade metal sign that she had made for me. Like, she paid a guy to weld it up and make it. But yeah, this I got from a Vietnam vet.
Responding code 3. All units. 14845 responding code 3 from National.
It's the original one, not the recreation you can buy, but the original one. He asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, absolutely. I've also got a whole stack of newspapers, like the actual newspapers that were on the stands when he was murdered, and other like very like I got one from when the shuttle blew up. He has saved them all, and I'm like, absolutely. And I mean a stack like 3 inches, big thick stack of these magazines. Well, not magazines, but newspapers. One of these days, I want to put them all in frames.
Dude, I have a sign. It's like one of these. I don't know if it's made of iron or whatever it's made out of. Some heavy composite something my pops gave me. It's one of the signs that were above one of the water fountains that says, whites only, no colors.
Man.
I was just like, what is this? He got it from his pops. And he passed away. He's like, I knew you'd appreciate this because, I know how you are. I'm like, yeah. I have it in my studio.
That would be freaking cool. Yeah, the only thing that's going to suck about me and my wife moving back to our old place, because at the end of the year, we're moving back to Phoenix, and there isn't a cooler apartment to move to than the one that we moved from.
Yeah.
Is that all the walls are structural concrete.
Huh.
So for me to be able to hang everything that I've got hung up in my studio, all these stuff on the wall and stuff, I got to go buy a hammer drill and a Diablo concrete bit and make sure I measure everything out, because for every hole, it's going to take 5 minutes to drill. I'm just standing there with a hammer drill, drilling in, because it's not just regular concrete like your sidewalk or your driveway. It's structural concrete. It's hardened concrete. But yeah, I've got American flag stuff all over everywhere.
There is no cheap way around that. Oh God. Yeah, you do. I'm trying to think of a cheap way. The sticky shit ain't gonna stick to it.
No, because it's textured. Because I've tried like command strips, 3M stuff, and it's so roughly textured.
Yeah.
That if you're trying to stick a 2x2 little square on it, there might be only 5 or 6 little pieces of that little 2x2 square that actually have stuck to it because it's so textured. But for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, the shock and awe factor, walking in the front door.
I would
First off, the front door is 9 feet tall. Not 8 feet, 9 feet tall. It's a solid oak door. And the lowest part of the ceiling, right when you come in the front door, is 12 feet high. The picture window out front is 8 foot by 12 foot. Picture window. The highest part of the ceiling above the loft, because the ceiling angles up, is 27 foot high. So as soon as you walk in, you're all like, whoa.
Get some of that damp, dry, thin insulation and put sheetrock over it and mount everything to the sheetrock. That way you only got to you could do less holes. Just mount everything to the sheetrock with like thumbtacks.
I was thinking of that in my studio, like making a false wall with using 1x2s and putting like 1/4 inch sheetrock over it. But still, we're mounting my TV here and that one. That's got to be like hard mounted. Because that's not like the cheap little TCL TVs that don't weigh anything. That's the a first generation of a Samsung Smart TV. That TV cost the guy that I bought it from a few $1,000s, and it weighs almost as much as a plasma.
Measure off where you want it, and I know it's a lot of work, but measure off where you want it and have 2x4 support beams behind it.
Here is the remote for it. It will do everything.
Everything.
Like the one thing that I love about it is you can hook up external main speakers and external surround speakers. There's 5 RCA ports on the back of it. Left main, right main, center, left S, and right S. So that TV can run its own 5-speaker surround sound. But the weirdest thing, the back of the TV is purple. I paid $100 for it off of Facebook Marketplace because the guy was moving.
Damn Marketplace.
I wanted to take my shoes off walking into this guy's house. First off, it was way up in like the rich area of North Scottsdale. We had to pull up at a occupied guard shack where the guard, before opening the gate, had to call the person that I was going to go see and make sure that I was approved to go in there. I had to let the guard photocopy my driver's license for me to go in. And then I walk into this guy's house. And if you've ever walked on really expensive carpet that's got really expensive carpet padding, how it's got that squish factor, that's how his carpet was. That TV was in his guest room. He said it might have been used 3 times. It still had the Samsung batteries in the remote. And then he had the exact same one in his living room, but a 75-inch. I don't even want to know what a 75-inch cost when it was probably it would, because that TV's 10 years old. He was selling everything because he had gotten a divorce and was moving to Alaska. He offered me the 75-inch for $300. I didn't have $300. I didn't have a way to get a 75-inch TV home in my little hatchback Toyota. But yeah, everything in that guy's house was like just epic. Like a paver driveway, not concrete, like hand-laid interlocking pavers.
Non-bar? Okay, non-bar. Well, we can pretend it's razor wire, can't we? Have electricity running through it.
Which that's the part that I'm dreading about moving, is moving all the electronics that we have here. Because we got a smart TV in the living room, a smart TV in the bedroom. My wife's got a computer in the bedroom. I got this whole room full of tech. The last time, we just would put a couple things in the back of my car, wrap them in blankets, make the 20-mile trip here, unload it, go back, put a couple more things, and it's like, it took 5 trips to get all the tech here. And we have more tech now. So it's like, oh, holy shit. And my wife wants to get a 75-inch TV for the living room so I could take the 50-inch and put it in the bedroom so I could take the 42-inch TV and put it in my studio.
It's not a hobby. It's your
So I will have 3 TVs in my studio. And oh, there's a 27-inch TV in our kitchen. And then everybody wonders why our internet bill's $150 a month. Like, why do you need such fast internet? Because everything in our home can be hooked to the internet at the same time.
Why do I need fast internet? Fuck you. That's why.
I mean, it's a little excessive. Our internet speed, 700 megs down, 150 megs upload.
I'm trying to work on getting Starlink for this dang old truck so I can stream more from here because this is where I'm at.
there's a new like smaller version of Starlink.
I got a trucker buddy that uses it, and he says it's been phenomenal for him. I'm like, yeah, I gotta look at
There's
this.
there's a YouTube channel. If I remember the channel, I will tell you. He found a way to power his Starlink wirelessly via a rechargeable battery pack.
Soon there will be a lot less Americans in LA.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. Like it will click onto the bottom of the Starlink. I think it was the Steve something. He's up in Canada, and he does stealth camping videos. Like he built a stealth camper out of pallets, just pallets on his trailer. But it's just like the outside of the pallets, but it looks like a bunch of pallets stacked up. Got a door on the back of it, but if you just look at it, it just looks like a bunch of pallets.
Yeah.
I think it was his channel, either his channel or Alaskan Truck Life. No, Alaskan Truck Home. One of those two channels. I watch such weird stuff. Like if you went and looked at my subscriber list on YouTube, you'd be like, "What's this guy into?" There's car channels. There's channels about building model cars. There's commercial landscaping channels, like people out there with big excavators and stuff. There's stealth camping channels. There's cooking channels. There's channels like Cletus McFarland. There's a bunch of computer channels that I follow.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna watch this channel. You know,
I just watched Jay's 2 Cents. He did 2 videos. He's got a Mercedes-Benz AMG like badass sports car. Got a 4-liter V8 twin turbo. He downloaded horsepower. Plugged his laptop into the car. Downloaded a tune that he had to pay like $2,000 for, and it gave him 200 extra horsepower.
Yeah.
He downloaded a tune for his computer that runs his transmission, that made his transmission work better for the horsepower.
And yes,
Trick to
that
ECU.
that
You can it's like what we call is like a DoD delete, and you can eliminate those constricting factors that those pesky
Yeah.
little restrictions and zoom. Yeah.
yeah, he was like,
Love it.
my car is now over 900 horsepower.
It's over 9,000. Oh, sorry.
And it's
That's
like,
an
holy
animated
shit,
reference.
bro. You live in California, like in
Uh-oh.
the LA area, and you got a car with over 900 horsepower. Why?
Oh, well, he's in LA.
'Cause
He's not going to be able to use that now.
Yeah, because you probably ain't even reaching 60 mile an hour on a regular basis.
Too many people in the streets. Hey,
Mhm.
going
But yeah, his freaking car was sick. Like his studio is in a big warehouse, so he's got it set up to where it's a 2-story warehouse, and in one part of it, he's got all this computers and offices and testing stuff, and then in like the warehouse part, he's got a gym and he can pull his cars in there and work on them, and he can do messy stuff in there. That's what I want so freaking bad. Like, I want an area to be able to tear a computer tower down and leave it torn down. Not have to be like, oh, well, the only place I could tear it down is my kitchen counter right next to my sink. And if I leave it there, my wife gets home, she'll shove her butt up my ass.
A lot more traps, too. A lot more Wranglers for sure, boys. Ow!
Like the other grandpa in the family, Shane, he builds custom Harleys. He's got a 50 by 75 heated, air-conditioned shop. So he's out there in his garage putzing around, building these like SEMA shot quality custom Harleys. Like the baggers, where the bags are basically sitting on the ground and it's got like a big 30-inch tall front tire. That's what he builds.
Michael Newman super chatted $5. Andy, do you
And every time he sees me, he goes, "Are you ready for me to build you a bike yet?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'd love to have you build me a bike, but
oh man,
your cheapest bike you sold in the last 10 years that I've known you was $55,000. Cheapest one."
Thank you, Michael.
Ain't
Like,
got time for that.
if he wanted to build a chopper, it would be like better than Orange County choppers, West Coast choppers, because the amount of detail that he puts in. Like his normal Harley has Frenched in exhaust into the bags. Like it's on air ride, and it will sit the bags on the ground. Well, he had to notch out the bags and run his exhaust up in the bags and refiberglass the bags around his exhaust. Frenched in taillights in the bags and in the fender. Like just epic builds. And big Harley engines. Like, I've never heard a Harley start up and shake a concrete floor. Hell, last time I was over a couple weeks ago, he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna go have a drink at the bar. You want to jump on a bike and follow me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Thinking that he'd have some normal Harley. No, we walk out in his garage and he's got his normal Harley that he's probably spent 5 years building. And another equally expensive Harley sitting there. I ain't been on a bike in 20 years, and he was just going to hand me the keys to this bike that's probably $60,000 show bike
with purple paint with ghost flames in it. It's like, nah, bro. Nah. Hell, even his work truck is a 4-door cat eye Chevy, 3/4 ton, on airbags that lay spring. You know how much work it takes to lay frame on a 1/2-ton truck? And his is a 3/4 ton with suicide doors that will just put the frame straight on the fucking ground. And it's like, holy fuck, dude. Like, he does nothing normal. He was all talking a couple years ago about resurfacing his pool because the pool liner was starting to flake off. He dumps $250,000 into his backyard. Custom fake grass, redid the pool deck all the way around, put in a waterfall and lights, and like, holy fuck, man. But that was just resurfacing the pool. But if I had his money, I'd be doing the same thing. Well, if I change this, I got to change this. And if I change those two things, I got to change this. I don't understand these guys.
No, it's not.
There was just a guy in this top middle one that went walking past with like a multi-$1,000 DSLR camera. You're at a protest that I wouldn't want to take my cell phone out at. And you just got this multi-$1,000 DSLR camera to take pictures.
Look, when I got fully involved with my my county sheriff's department and everything, getting badged up and sworn in and everything, the initiating the incident, this idiot Hakeem Wright, I will say your name till the day I die. This idiot called himself a professional photographer, and for some reason he's over here in the hood, or the somewhat thoughtish hood, for that area, doing something with his whatever expensive camera, and saw us trying to fight this meth head over here, me and a uniformed officer. He decided to put his camera up, as the news station said it, Fox 5, as they said it. He decided to put it, no, wait. No, that was Channel 2. That was Channel 2 News, ABC, WSB TV. He decided to put his professional camera up and grab his cell phone and record what was going on. The police brutality that he saw happening in front of him. You didn't want to record that in 4K? No, you rather go 1080p? You really felt disturbed by it? Yeah, I'm not buying that shit for a second, dude. And he calls himself they did a whole profile on him and everything, showing still shots of him holding his camera. He's just looking all suave and shit. And like, well, it's the point where this officer comes in and starts kicking the guy in the face. And I was just like, well, this isn't right. That officer was kicking that guy in the face because that guy was biting me on my damn hand. I still have the scar. He was biting me, and that officer came in. He was our backup that finally showed up. It's just me and a smaller guy, and we're fighting this dude because he's hyped up on meth. Fucking, he's biting me. That cop came and saved my hand. Like, fuck you.
I bet you anything that professional camera doesn't work.
I got a good feeling it doesn't.
Because that would be the only reason why you'd want to pull out a cell phone to film with.
I thought that. I thought that, and you confirming that, it makes absolute sense. That motherfucker was what we call flogging, just faking it.
Yep.
Just fucking being a fucking, oh, yeah, look how cool I am. I got this nice big fancy camera that you probably bought from a pawn shop that you can't get the power up.
Yep.
You stupid motherfucker. Fuck that dude, man.
Or it's so old that the highest resolution is like 480.
Yes. I fucking hate that dude to this day. And this dude was bigger than me. Why didn't you go over there and help?
There's a dude with a Batman mask on. Yeah,
I still gotta get home. I still gotta get home and play with my camera. I got a new Nikon something. Oh dear God. No, it's a Canon. The fuck did I buy? I don't know. I've had the camera for like 6 months now, and I haven't messed with it yet.
I've had so many people ask me, like, email me, like, I want to start up a YouTube channel. What camera do I get? And I'm like,
cheap one.
a Logitech C920 webcam, which is this webcam that I've had for years, and a Samsung Galaxy flagship phone. Not the A series, the S series. Because the A series shouldn't even have Samsung Galaxy name on it. Because the A15 or 16 has a fucking plastic screen. It's garbage. Gotta be flagship Galaxy. And of course my wife was like, hey, you know that they got a new Samsung Galaxy out. I'm like, yes, dear, I know. And you know that the S25 Ultra is $1,800 for a phone. And she was like, so can you do stuff on it that your two phones can't? And I'm like, no. I can't even do stuff on my new Samsung, the S23, that I could do on my S21. My S21 will have dual camera mode. That's how I film all me and my wife's driving and talking videos, where one video will be the front camera, and then one video will be the back camera. It doesn't have that feature.
Oh shit, there goes the bus getting
I was so pissed.
Bus down.
I was pissed when I bought my S21. I found out it was like, oh, it doesn't have a. I love SD cards. You kiss my ass.
Yes.
I love SD cards.
Yes.
And now they're just eliminating them. Headphone jacks. I want a headphone jack.
Oh,
no, we eliminated that.
I've got a headphone jack story. So I started my whole YouTube thing up 2018. So I had gotten a whole bunch of headphone jack microphones, nice ones. And then I get the S21, no headphone jack. And I probably spent $50 buying every little attachment that went from headphone jack to a Type-C port.
Yes.
Even though they say that they work the microphone, they don't.
Yes.
So I had to go ask my wife for money to go buy 2 more microphones. And I don't buy cheap microphones. I don't.
That's going to take some.
Where's my stuff at here?
You have all of the people already in Alameda. You got a whole in Alameda already. So we'll push.
What did I do with it? It's around here somewhere. My Rode mic, my Type-C Rode mic, is $80. She was all like, "You just spent $150 on 2 microphones?" And I'm like, "Well, technically 3, because one of them is a dual microphone." She goes, "But still, why?" And I'm like, because the new phones, they got rid of the headphone jack. I can't use this whole box of microphones that I had. Because I had like lab mics for the car that had like a 10-foot cable to where you could have the phone set up in the mount and have the lab mic ran around the dash up to the sunshade. I had all that stuff.
I'm gonna need a squad on the south corner of Alameda at first to prevent them from coming
Kinda
back
makes me
westbound back towards
mad
Central.
that I can't. Oh, I know where it is.
That's Alameda, where right where 13's at. It's Alameda.
I know where it is. Here it is.
Traffic, Tampa, Business Center Drive, Tampa,
I remember I went to my
2-847,
daughter's,
1782.
so I took it. Right here. Whoop. In this little tray is $150 in microphones. This mic right here, this Type-C microphone that plugs into the side of my phone. It's like an 80 or $85 mic.
Code 3, incident 2845, RD 1526.
These little
Correction 1523.
wireless mics, because these ain't the cheap ones you buy off TikTok. These are like $50 for these.
We're attempting to log on right now. If you could send us,
These two stupid adapters were like $20. But yeah, telling my wife like, hey, I need these. And then like, I think it was a month ago, she was like, so what's an upgrade from your normal mic? Like, how much is that going to cost? And I'm like, you don't want to know. And she was like, why? And I'm like, well, the upgrade from this mic is the Shure SM7B. The mic itself is $300. The gear to run it is about $500. And she was like, no. But my most important piece of tech is right here. This dirty ass camera lens cleaning cloth. Because no matter how bad of a camera that you got or flagship phone, you film a video or take a picture, and there's a smudge on the camera lens, these shots ruined. I take this thing everywhere, and you can see that it's fucking, it's filthy dirty.
Sorry, Gore.
I don't even know what it's made out of because it kind of feels like silk. But it will clean the front of your phone off and your camera lenses. Like, I could sneeze on my phone and let it dry on there. Rub that on there, clean. Because it's not microfiber, it's like, but it kind of feels like it, but it's like really thin. It almost feels like those silk shirts everybody used to wear. You know, because we were all balling back in the day. If you had a silk dress shirt. Everybody getting into their square body Chevy with their silk dress shirt on, with their nicest pair of jeans. I never had a silk shirt.
I look free. But to be fair, they were hand-me-downs from uncles.
I am not one to get dressed up. I own 2 dress shirts, a light purple one and a black one. I own 1 pair of dress pants, and they're what I call my Eid pants. I'm wearing them because somebody's getting married or somebody's getting buried. They're my Eid pants.
Yeah, I
I
got like
own
1 suit.
1 pair of dress shoes, and they're technically not
I
dress
don't even
shoes.
wear.
They're the tread safe shoes you can buy at Walmart.
I don't even wear dress shoes. My formal wear typically, well, for the funerals, it's my full black suit, but I typically through high school I wore my black suits with a nice black t-shirt underneath the jacket, and keep it maybe 1 button, just to avoid the collars and everything. And I would always keep a nice pair of black boots. I still do this. I got a pair of black boots. I only wear them when I put that suit on, so they're pristine and clean. And I got a gigantic, well, it's not gigantic, but nice black cowboy hat, and I put that on with my black Oakleys, and it's just like I walk into funerals looking like death.
Yeah.
The dude from the fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony video, and just
The only thing you're missing is the black cane with a gold top.
Man, the last time I wore that, it was at a fallen officer guy I grew up working with. He died, medical reasons, but he was retired. But I showed up at the funeral. I just stood there in the back of the room dressed like that. And people would keep looking at me, and I, they did the thing where you go to the coffin and pay your respect. And I went up, and I had one last look at him, and I gave him a salute, and just slowly turned around and walked away. I didn't talk to anybody except for 2 people. Another officer that I grew up with that got me involved in everything, because I grew up with his 3 sons. And I'm just kind of standing there just observing everybody, and some guy comes up to me, he's just like, "Hey man, I gotta know, who are you with?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Are you ATF, DEA, who are you?" I was like, "Oh no, this guy kept me out of a lot of trouble. I worked with this guy, Keo." And he's just like, "Oh man, people have been asking me, who the hell is this black guy dressed in all black? Is that Death himself? Am I seeing him?" And just I couldn't have started laughing. So he starts introducing me to people that were questioning me. So Bobby comes up, the father of the sons that I grew up with. He's like, "Oh, this is my other son. Y'all don't know about him."
See, I would have said something like, "I'm from the Men in Black." The brother version of the Men in Black.
I started to say, "I'm just waiting for the time to be ready to transfer his soul on," and then just look away. And I started to do that to a couple of people. I was just like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it."
See, my boss, the Grim Reaper with the scythe and the cape and everything, was busy, so he sent me because he thought it would be a little more appropriate.
One lady, I almost said, "I'll see you January 13th."
Oh God.
2000. Like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, no,
oh
no."
my God.
That's my style, man. Fucking
No.
my dress shoes. I got some whatever them damn shoes called, Stacy something, whatever. But I haven't worn them in so long. It's just like I don't wear them, so I just went with the boots. But that's how I would do it in high school. So I was like, that's my formal wear. I've never been to a wedding. Well, I've been to a wedding once, but it was like a
Now, my
sneaky
formal
wedding.
wear when I was in school was the gray elephant skin boots with the big over the top toe chrome piece on it, and the heel plate, a matching bolo tie, big white Stetson, and the ugliest Garth Brooks style shirts that we all wore in the fucking 90s. Where it was like it was red, blue, green, white. Why did we ever wear those fucking ugly ass shirts? Because
of
our
Garth
Brooks wore
Brooks.
them. It's like, why? But man, I look fucking sharp. You know, everybody else just had the little toe tips that went around the toe. No, mine were like the Mexican mafia style, where it went around the toe, but also over the toe.
Yeah.
And I would have to wipe them off, you know, because they were chrome. They did have to be all shiny. But I was also dating a bad bitch when I was in school. Because I was the guy that went to another school and started dating a girl. 5'9", probably 130 pound, 4 feet of leg, redhead. And she would wear heels, like stiletto heels, and short dresses to accentuate her legs. Like her prom dress wasn't a typical prom dress. It was like a I'm gonna go do some stuff at a club dress.
Oh, because you got pepper spray in his eyes, huh? He was the first one?
Oh, the trash guy's here. People think it's weird that my apartment complex has valet trash. Literally, a guy walking around with one of those Rubbermaid trash bins on wheels will walk up to my door, take my trash out, walk up to my neighbor's door, take their trash out, put it in a bin, and walk off.
Oh, you paying for it? Shit.
Yeah, it's $8 a month.
We're talking to some guy right now that they pepper.
Yeah, shit. I pay that.
I've had people say, "Man, that's freaking lazy because you can see the dumpster." I'm like, yeah, but I get charged. I get charged for it no matter what. If I walk my fat ass to the dumpster, or he comes up and gets it. And of course, he's a totally cool trash guy. He has this OBS white Chevy Suburban, and it's on airbags, and it's got a big system in the back. And he will back up into the spot at the end of the parking lot by where he keeps a trash bin, and all you hear is clink as he drops the airbags and sets the frame on the ground. It's like even our trash man here is pimp. He's out there walking the parking lot in old Converse high tops. But he's definitely scared of dogs. I got a camera in my window that I can see, and my neighbor has 2 Australian healers. He was at the door picking up my neighbor's trash. My neighbor didn't look at the peephole to make sure that there was no one out there. Opened the door to let his dogs run over to the corner and do their business. The dogs come running out, and there's a black man taking the trash out. And boy, the dogs start like straight up like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Start growling and stuff. And this guy just dropped the trash and froze. I was sitting there laughing my ass off. I'm like, our black trash guy just lost all the toner in his skin.
RR_spec
He
one
went
super chatted
16 shades of white.
$9.99. If the Marines made for tonight, I hope for the crowd's sakes they just leave them be.
Oh shit, it's 9 o'clock.
They
All
don't
right,
do
I gotta check
crowds
out of here.
They only serve one purpose, and it's not arrest anyone.
Get my ass home tomorrow. I'll be streaming tomorrow, dude. If you want to fucking jump in and check in and shit.
All right.
I forget what the hell I'm talking about. I think I'm doing a Bad Cops. No, I'm doing Bad Cops Wednesday. Yeah. I'll let you know, dude. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, man. Any time.
All right, man. Later.
Peace. So the upper left corner is Dallas. And now I don't know where it is. The bottom right corner is Austin, Texas. Get out the street. Oh, here we go. Out there spinning tires. Because nothing's more cooler than wasting money by spinning
Imagine
tires.
if all these idiots put the effort into going to work and being productive people, what we could accomplish instead of costing us money and tearing stuff up.
I've said that so many times. If every one of these people at this protest were an actual outstanding member of the society, going to work, taking care of their communities, raising their kids. Like I saw a picture on X of a little toddler, probably 3 or 4 years old, that had got pepper sprayed. Why did that parent have their child out there? And they're basically terrorizing these neighborhoods. Makes no sense to me. Oh, my neighbor's home. When my daughter's boyfriend, Randy, brought me home last night, he was all like, man, your neighbor's got a nice truck. And I'm like, yeah, that's his work truck. It's like a 22 or a 23 F-250 Platinum King Ranch. It's his work truck. And of course, Randy was like, oh yeah, $100,000 truck has a work truck. I'm like, yep. Oh, if you're going to chant, put some emphasis in it. No fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK. No fascist USA. It's like, come on. Oh, of course, there's a girl with colored hair. I follow this girl on TikTok. And if you look at her, you would think that she was the atypical liberal. Short hair, that's colored. Piercings, like typical nose piercings and stuff. But she is a tried and true conservative. which means that, like the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
Oh, my gravy, what happened?
Cheer 100. Pretty soon they will be chanting stay together. Stay tight. We do this every night. Commies make my comedy hour cheers from Texas. P.S. El Gnado survivor here.
That's right, CJ. Thank you for the 100 bits.
Bro. Man, I am getting tired, everyone. Okay, we just hit the 3-hour, 30-minute mark. I'm gonna stop the stream, guys. I'm getting tired. I gotta go eat. Take my meds. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Bup, for jumping on. It was always nice talking to you. And have a great night, everyone. And I'm going to still be monitoring this
Where's this one at? All right.
in case anything like serious pops off.
People are in LA.
So good night, everyone.